Dane, that was quite the spaces you just held. Great job with everything.
Hey, thanks, man. It was fun talking to those guys. I was telling Shitoshi earlier, he knows this, but ETH is kind of like a cult in a way, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that a lot of the whales hang out in the same circles, and they hang out in the same alpha groups, etc. And in order to get their attention, you have to break into those circles slowly but surely. And one of the best ways to do that was on Borovich, probably butchered his name, but on his space, he's actually one of the leading spaces on the east side right now. When you see those .eth names with big followings, they have quite the following of whales. So, Shibtoshi has only been on the scene now for basically a year. So he's still relatively new under the alias, but it's growing very quickly. And we're starting to get the attention of a lot of big people. Like you saw Pro the Doge on there, had lots of nice things to say. That was awesome. All sorts of people like that have been attracted to the project. And it's really what you want to see, because although they're not having too much of an impact right now on the chart, going down the road, getting further into this next cycle, that impact they're going to have is going to be seen a lot more clearly.
I would agree. And, guys, if you tuned into the spaces, hopefully you didn't have any glitches like I did. But yeah, a lot of these big names, they're finally coming around. And we've talked about that before on other spaces, that you're starting to see a lot of the ETH heads, a lot of the big names, the big cheese, everybody, whatever you want to call them, they're all starting to come around now. And, call it what you will. Maybe it's because, again, they didn't track us before because we were BSC and now we're ETH. But they're really starting to get on board. And as you can see, Sheeb has a great following. So people respect Sheeb. They know Sheeb. But now they're starting to get to know SquidGrow. And we're all privy to all this information. I mean, we're all family here. So we know the goods. But everybody else is starting to get a little taste of it as well. And that's just a really cool thing. Huntsman came up on the VC. I don't know if you guys were listening. Huntsman came up on the spaces, spoke very beautifully, and was just talking about all the goods, all the goodies that we have coming down the pipeline, most notably SGX, and just how much money potentially it can pump onto our chart and pump into our project. And so, you know, again, there's so many good things that are coming down right now for SquidGrow that you were going to be in such prime position once the market opens up again, and once everything really gets in bloom. We're going to be in prime position to hit the moon. And so, if you're still sticking around with us, man, are you in a good spot?
Yeah, no kidding, man. It's just piece by piece, block by block, we're building this project. We already stand out like a sore thumb because we're not going quietly just because it's a bear market. We're making noise, we're thriving, we're growing. The chart doesn't always show it, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's happening quietly behind the scenes when you compare it to what happened with projects in 2021. That will come. That explosion will come. It's just a matter of when, not if. And as I said on the space, we've just got a bit longer runway, right? But once our plane takes off, man, there's going to be nothing that stops us. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. And I really enjoyed getting to spread that message to a new crowd just now on Twitter Spaces. We're going to continue to do that with different groups as opposed to going in the same circles. We're going to be spreading our message on Twitter Spaces to all sorts of different people through all sorts of different AMAs. And one of the things I'm excited about going forward with our marketing is, we've kind of smashed it on the influencers. We've made a lot of big home runs there. We've got Daniel Moncada with us, Brian Evans. We've got Wendy O shouting us out, Pro to the Doge shouting us out positively. We got SquidGrow Joe, Sesh, Bad Anthony, so many others here in this chat, even that are just killers that make up the foundation of this project. I think the influencers, we've covered very well. But going forward, we're looking into partnerships more. We'll be looking into big home run type partnerships, just a hint, hint. We have a lot of things cooking in the background still from a marketing standpoint that have not yet been unveiled. We've got the World Tour competition that just ended. That's going to be a big marketing piece for us as we get the content kind of formed into a more uniform way of viewing it, so you don't have to just scroll through Twitter for hours. There's a lot coming, guys, and this market cap is a steal, in my opinion. It really is.
Yeah, I think so too. And Dan, by the way, I think you may have some. Speaking of glitches, maybe your mic,
Oh,
perhaps,
let me
maybe it's
switch
going a
my,
little.
let me switch my laptop. 1 second.
But yeah, guys, listen. Um, sometimes it's hard, right? Every day you wake up, every day you check the charts, every day you look at your SquidGrow, every day you're hoping for a catalyst, every day you're looking to see if the market cap has been pumping, every day you want to see some movement. And it gets hard, it gets frustrating, and it gets, um, it can wear thin your patience, certainly. But again, all the principles that we've discussed at SquidGrow, and certainly all um, the the feelings and the ride that Shibtoshi wants to take us on, you got to go through it. Again, we are not just a degen meme coin that that's shooting up to the to the X's, and you wouldn't want that anyway, because it's going to crash. And before you're able to even get your money out, who knows? Maybe it already crashed. And that's what happens, right? Because we all know that. We've all aped into tokens, and we've all wanted to make the X's and then sell in time. And we all know what it's like to put your buy order in on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, and it gets denied because the slippage wasn't correct or because too many other people are trying to sell at the same time. So what you saw your tokens were worth 5 minutes ago is not what they're worth right now, because the chart already dipped before you could get your sell out. Anyway, that's not what we are. And so, I just think, like we always talk about on all these VCs, give it time. Rome wasn't built in a day. SquidGrow is not about getting to the moon right away. We are not a sprint. It's very much a marathon. And, in a marathon, you pace yourself. In a marathon, you conserve energy. In a marathon, you get your breath and everything ready to go so that you can make that final push when you need to. And that's exactly what Shibtoshi and Ardub and Dane and everybody behind this, all the devs that are working on it, that's what's going to happen with this. And so if you are still around and you're still with us, when that pump begins and when the rocket goes and when the real growth occurs, well, then you're going to really be proud of yourself, and you're just going to be happy because all of that work and all of that patience that you've put in, it's going to be worth it at that point. So, again, today's Father's Day. It's a good time to be around. It is June 18th in 2023. And so we have the rest of this year to get cracking with SquidGrow. We're in a great place right now, and the sky is the limit.
Hey, how do I sound now?
You sound good. I mean, I think it's a little glitchy. I think maybe, I don't know, it's your connection, or I can hear you a little bit, but
Is it
get on
is
a
it
run
quiet? Does it sound like I'm underwater? Or is it just disconnected with the
a
connection?
little bit. It sounds like the connection. Sounds like your bars are down.
Yeah, but you can make out what I'm saying.
I can make out what you're saying, and you look good too.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks. Getting a little gray with all this time we're putting into crypto,
Me
but
too. Me
all
too.
good.
And really, guys, I hope that everybody was. We got a lot of family, a lot of fathers in the house, and so if you have kids and you are a daddy, we hope that you had a good Father's Day, because it was a beautiful day today, and no matter where you are, it was a nice Sunday. And I think that the spaces that they just had was really top notch. It was really just a good job. If you guys don't know Borovic, I'm getting to know him myself. He's really one of the his profile's certainly been raising over the months. Dane can tell you a little bit more about him, but he's a good person to have spaces with. And of course, our favorite Pro Doge, he was hosting. So now we know we've got him on board.
Yeah, he's certainly taken a liking to us a bit more. I think maybe meeting Shibtoshi in person most likely had an effect on that, and same with Bad Anthony and D Rod from the UFC. Yeah, Borovich is again, I'm probably butchering his name, so apologies to him. But he's really good, man. To me, he's like a Mario in the Fall, but actually educated in crypto properly and not a narcissist. So that's good to see. Him giving us a platform, especially on our birthday. It's very very awesome timing. Yeah, shout out to the fathers out there too. I think fathers should have an entire month. It's kind of a shame that there's just one day. If you're lucky enough to have a dad still, definitely give him a call if you haven't already. Still got time. Um, you know, but yeah, man. Happy birthday to
I like
SquidGrow.
I like that.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a year. We could sit here and talk about all the things we did during that time, the ups, the downs, the tough points, the milestones. There were many, but I think going into year two, it's about to become a hell of a lot more bullish, and we get to really open up now and move that ceiling and start spreading our message to an even bigger audience on ETH, and then get to roll out those infamous utilities you've heard Shib talk about time and time again. They're now coming to fruition, and it's we're starting to see them behind the scenes. So it's gonna be fun when they do drop.
I agree. And you know what, guys? There's a lot of people, and then we're going to get to Dreams. Yeah, Dreams' hand is raised at the moment, aka Fat Rooster. There's a lot of people out there. Remember, we talked about this on many VCs. There's a whole world of crypto folks out there that has been tapped, that are unaware of SquidGrow. And a lot of them are unaware of Satoshi and his story. It only feels like everybody has heard of it because in our little bubble, which we are encircled with, we all love it. And so we feel insulated because we all love SquidGrow. We know it. It's familiar to us. But when you listen to these spaces on Twitter and around the bend, there's a lot of people who are just finally now coming around to SquidGrow. They're familiar with Satoshi. Certainly everybody knows the story, even before whether they knew it was Satoshi or not, but they know the legend, they know the story. But they're all coming around, and I think that is what you want, right? That's the engagement you want. You want to turn new people on. You want to get new people on board. And so, like we always say, the grassroots of it really comes from us, from the community, and you guys are all doing your part. I mean, the Twitter game is absolutely on fire, but the more and more homegrown buyer, if you will, that's going to come from us. It's not going to come from the marketing. It's not going to come from necessarily even the whales, right? The whales are going to come. Of course, you're going to feel it because the buys should be big, but the real buys that you want, the real holders, is going to come from all of us doing our part, shilling it, promoting it, telling people about it, so that once the bull run comes, it'll be a lot like it was in 2021 when everybody and their mom and their grandmother and their aunt and their uncle and their brother and their sister and their dog were aping into Shiba because they couldn't, they could, FOMO, they couldn't miss out. And so I think that, if we keep doing our job and we keep promoting, we keep shilling, it's just going to open up a whole new world of opportunities for everybody, and it's just going to get new people on board, and that's what we want, is to bring new people into the fold so that when the real big wigs come in, again, like I always use the words, inevitable and unavoidable.
Well said, man. What up, Dreams?
What up? Yeah, amen to that, brother. Yeah, I got a kid. I run a restaurant, right? I got a cook there, and his first DeFi project purchase is about to be SquidGrow. I was getting him to join the Telegram today. He's never been in Telegram in any crypto, but he plays around on the centralized exchanges. And I was like, dude, look, after the market cap came back down, right here is such a sweet spot to buy. I'm like, look, dude, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna get a wallet. You're gonna get some BNB. I'm gonna hold your hand, and we're gonna get you in here. So I mean, that's what you gotta do. Literally, you gotta walk. You have to. If you don't show someone literally how to get into DeFi for the first time and hold their hand and actually make them do it, it's almost impossible for me to get it. Like my customers come in, I'll be like, we'll talk about, a lot of them are on centralized exchanges, and as soon as I start talking about DeFi with them, they get that look in their eye like, oh, like stuck. So, I mean, unless you
It's
actually show someone and hold their hand, it's so hard to get them in.
It
You
is,
know,
man. I've
but
experienced that many times too, Dreams. It's like explaining rocket science to someone, and then like they want to learn it, but then as soon as they see it, they're like scared. You got to be real patient, and
yeah,
it's got to be the type of person who's receptive to it too. Not everybody will be.
it's a leap. It's a
It
big leap.
it's hard, it's
I
it's a lot of steps for people, especially because it involves money. And so a lot of
mhm.
times people get very overwhelmed with all the steps between buying it on trust, sending it to Meta, sending it wherever you have to do, swapping it from BNB to WBNB, all these different things. And it really, it can turn people off before they've ever been turned on. But
Yeah.
again, you're doing your part, Dreams, and I'm
Yep.
glad to know that.
I wish I had a person to actually show me and hold my hand, and rather than having to come to Telegram and figure it out and find the way. But this is why I love Telegram. This is where I learned it all. I want to say, give a shout out to my man James, Bus, everybody. Happy Father's Day to you guys. And I got a question. What do we know about the winner of the World Tour? We got any action on that yet, or what?
Yeah, so winter we'll probably have to sort. We're gonna sort through every single picture, right? And there's several hundred of them, so that's gonna take pretty much all of our efforts to do so. I would like to aim to get it announced by this next week, but I don't want to make any promises. We want to make sure we take our time with this and choose to the best of our abilities. We don't want anyone to be like, "Oh, he chose that." We're going to choose the clear winners here, the ones that stand out the most, that went above and beyond, that have the coolest possible thing they could have done. And it's not easy to choose. Unfortunately, we have to choose. I would love to get out, give out 50 winners, because I've seen so many amazing posts. So it's not going to be.
There were some really impressive ones, no doubt. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, the onus being honest to choose now, it's definitely a little stressful, because it's not going to be easy, to say the least. If you guys haven't looked yet, please do yourself the favor. SquidGrow World Tour on Twitter. Just swipe through there on latest, and you will be amazed what you see. Top and latest, also the comments on the post itself. It is impressive.
I just noticed that Dreams has a beard. He's in the beard club.
Oh yeah, the beard's where it's at, man. That's you don't got to shave every day.
Who's not rocking a beard these days is Daniel Moncada, and he just joined us. How are you, Dan? How's it going? Are you Breaking Bad currently? There he is.
How's it going, guys? Hey,
how you doing, brother?
Pretty good, man. I'm over here trying to do some steak real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, what is that? Some tea.
I got some tri-tip, and we got some in the oven too over here. Got some shepherd's pie with hot Cheetos.
Nice.
Daniel, I have to ask. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. Is there any meth in the steak?
Any what?
Is there any meth in the steak?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I cannot cook without meth. It's always meth, teeth, and
that blue.
A lot of SquidGrow.
There it is. That makes it taste good.
Yo, happy birthday, SquidGrow. Happy birthday. Man, that's crazy. Hey, by the way, man, Dane, Chitoshi, R-Dub, man, you guys fucking killed it today, bro. That was fucking dope. That was a great space. Man. Yeah, that was a great space, man. I was listening the whole time. You guys were killing it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of really nice questions too. I like the audience that he had brought up there. It seemed like each person offered an entirely different, very technical question, and I love getting into that stuff. But shit, we don't shy away from any of it. There's not a single question they could ask us that we won't tackle or hide. I think that's why people like SquidGrow, is we're always very, very transparent, as much as we can be, to every audience that we can be. So, Shitoshi has gotten a hell of a lot better at speaking. I've watched him go. He was doing it in the first 2 weeks to where he is now, and it's a pleasure listening. I try to be quiet because I like listening myself.
Yeah, everything was answered beautifully, man. I was really enjoying it the whole time. I was over here cooking, and I was just listening the whole time. And yeah, man, you guys killed it, bro.
Sheeb's done well. You can hear his passion come through, and certainly his what if you want to call it, public speaking has definitely improved. And he's not afraid to get behind the mic, and it runs out of him, the passion. For everybody who's looking for one of those ever-present devs that's always around, and that is not afraid to speak, not afraid to certainly talk about his own project. I mean, Sheeb's really at the top. I think we all know that. And I just think, again, you guys look for, we talk about signs all the time, right? The signs that you're in a top-notch project. The signs are everywhere if you're looking in the right places in SquidGrow. I mean, they're just the transparency and everything that you want is really, it's all here for the taking for everybody. And it's just so good to see everybody coming on out for this 1 year anniversary. We have Slayhem in the house as well. Slayhem, the man behind the tech. How are you, Slay?
I don't know if Slay can speak right now, but Slayhem is an absolute animal, man. He consistently codes things on Telegram that I know not many others in the world can do. We have very lucky to have him on board. He's consistently innovating. Just for instance, the last buy contest that we held 2 weeks ago, the biggest buy that we have now, the way it's all tracked. Or like earlier today, there was an incident where one of the mods accidentally unpinned all the messages in chat, which can be absolutely brutal for most projects to get back when you have to sit there and dive through them individually. But a long time ago, Slam actually programmed a feature into the bot that basically logs all the pinned messages and repins them. So that is, I mean, just another example of how he's consistently innovating. So yeah, one of the unsung heroes, more or less, Slam on our team. If you're in the Telegram, you know him, but if not, you're new, you haven't met him. Yeah, we're in really good hands when it comes to the tech behind the tech. So shout out to Slam and happy Father's Day, man. And I also dreamed. I just want to circle back to what you said, man. I really like that. It resonates me with what you're doing for your buddy, because that's how I was bought into crypto in 2016. I was brought in by a guy in the gym. I just happened to be, I was a trainer at the time, and I happened to be listening, overhearing this guy's conversation. I knew him, right? Not that well, but I just knew him from the gym. And I heard him say something about crypto and the money he was making. I was like, "What'd you say, man?" And he started telling me, and I was receptive to it. And this was before the bull market. And anyway, next day we met at Starbucks. I brought my laptop. He brought his. He started showing me his wallets, his portfolios. He taught me how to make a wallet before Coinbase and Binance was even a thing. I was on like Bitstamp and, just getting into KuCoin right when it first launched. And, it was thanks to him and his patience with me that I was able to get in crypto, because I was certainly questioning and calling it a scam and thinking it was, bullshit. Until he showed me, things like his his bank account. And I was like, once I saw that, I was like, the Wolf of Wall Street, where he says, "Show me a paycheck for 70K and I'll quit my job right now." Like, that was where my obsession came in. So, if you have buddies out there like that, or people that you're cool with that might be receptive to you, you can potentially create a monster. You can create someone that becomes the next Satoshi for all you know. It's how I got in. It's how a lot of us got in. Crypto is a very foreign world to those who are uninitiated. So oftentimes you've got to kind of extend them an olive branch to get them involved. And then over time, they start doing their own homework and become a feed.
100%. Yeah. And I think as well, as we have to excuse me, I'm eating a cookie. If we get out of this bear market, we start inching back towards the bull, it's going to be a lot more enticing for people to want to come back and make that money. I think that we all know that it's been a little bit a winter, if you will, over the last year, and crypto wide, not just SquidGrow. I'm not talking about that, but in terms of the greater picture in crypto. And I just think that, once the floodgates open again, what could be the catalyst, right? Is it China? Is it China getting back into it? Is it BlackRock? What could it be that makes the bull market go back? Is it the halving that's expected next year? We don't know. But when it comes, if you're still around for that, get ready for the excitement, because if you haven't been part of a bull, for some people on this call, I think many have only been part of a bear. I know a lot of people who got into crypto just from SquidGrow, and that's great because they got into SquidGrow. But at the same time, the market, as we know, has not been great. But just get ready for the bear, the bull, because when the bull comes, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You're gonna see projects that are doing great. You're gonna see SquidGrow absolutely go parabolic, and it's just gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time for you. It's gonna be a good time for your friends, and it's gonna be a great time for crypto in terms of the legitimacy of it, the reputation of it. I'm looking so forward. If you guys have been paying attention as well, the Binance FUD is pretty much gone now. The SEC, Dane, you know about this, right? I mean, I think they dropped their all the nonsense with CZ, so that's great. I mean, that's what we want, right? We want to be able to do our thing and be part of SquidGrow and educate, bring new people in without all this unnecessary FUD and just skepticism. And I think that you guys are going to see that very soon. And what's going to be leading it off is going to be SquidGrow, because as you know, SquidGrow was born in the bear. We're going to survive. We are surviving, but we're going to thrive. And so again, if you've been with us this long and you are holding, just keep holding on a little bit longer, because the real fun's about to get started. So again, happy 1 year. and happy Father's Day to all the squid daddies on the call.
That's right, Arn. Yeah, I don't know about the FUD being dissipated. You know, the FUD always comes, the word on the street, the sentiment always changes week to week, month to month. So you never really know with that what's ahead, but it won't deter us regardless of what's ahead. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
100%.
You know, and with the Binance thing, I think that's a saga that we're going to be watching play out for a while. The U.S. is, going to have to really calculate the approach they take, I think, a bit more carefully. I don't think they'll win against XRP personally. I don't think they'll have a shot in hell at winning against Coinbase and Binance. So I think it's all just FUD. And with that FUD comes opportunity. A lot of people are finding about SquidGrow just for the first time today, getting a hell of an opportunity, in my opinion, just from that alone. And there's many other altcoins out there that are providing that same opportunity. We're going to try to be one of those top dogs, of course. And the sky is the limit, really, for where this project can go as the things do heat back up, like you say, Arn.
And just remember, just remember, guys, again, we talk about signs. I mentioned signs before. It's so easy, right? It's so easy. Sometimes the signs that you're looking for are right there in front of you. You can't see them because of all the other, white noise that's going on in a project and all the other things, all the chatter, all the talk, all of this, all of that. But if you look at SquidGrow and you look at the principles behind it, nothing's changed. Sheeptoshi's been there from day one. RDub's been there from day one. Dane has been there from day one. Nothing has changed in terms of a wild misdirection or, we can't do this, we have to do. No, it's all there. And Sheeptoshi, and I know he's on the call, so I hope you're listening. No, but guys, nothing's changed. Sheeptoshi is a man of his word. He's the best dev that you could want because he's always present. This is his passion. None of this is really for him. And it's all there. And so again, guys, I think that when we talk about the big picture of SquidGrow, and she mentioned this on the spaces, if you were listening, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And with a marathon, it just takes time. You want to conserve your energy. You want to stock up on all the stuff that you need so that when it's time to make that full-on push, you are ready and you're in prime position to do so. And so with all the goodies that Sheeptoshi has in store in terms of the crypto NFT marketplace, SGX, everything, you name it, it's not going to end there. And that's that's the other thing. For those that are thinking, what comes next after the NFT? What comes next after SGX? Believe me, Sheeptoshi will think of something, and it won't just be him. It'll be all of us that do it too. And so that's what's exciting about SquidGrow, is that it truly is innovating all the time, and it's not just a token. And I've said that 1,000 times, that this is not just a token that you're investing in. It's very much like a company. And again, with Sheep at the helm, you can't go wrong. And with that being said, is Sheep on the call? Sheep, how are you? You joining us?
Yeah, I'm here, my friend. I'm here.
Oh.
Just listening. How's everybody doing?
We're good. I think everybody wants to know if you had brisket for Father's Day today.
Actually, I did have brisket and ribs, actually, and barbecue beans. So right before the space, I had family over, my dad. So, just did the whole little family thing. I was on the space leaving, so I wasn't able to give them a proper goodbye. But had barbecue. My girl's been smoking the meat since this morning, so it was delicious.
Sheep, I think the community has it all wrong. I think everybody's focused on your wallet when they should be focused on your kitchen. So,
so what's going on, everybody? Noticing that the space has a lot of muted people. Or why are we doing that?
Oh yeah, we basically just to keep the background noise down. At the beginning of each call, I tell everybody, and I'll say it again. Anybody that wants to come up and talk, just throw a hand up, and I'll unmute you right away. Sometimes it's a setting that's changed when you open the space, where there's permissions will do that by default, or they won't. I think we just had it on that for a while, so I can always shift that later, or just unmute everybody.
Yeah, I prefer to shift it just so we don't have to do the whole hands up thing. If somebody wants to chime in, they can just do that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it makes it a lot easier for people to vibe. If you
Yeah,
raise your hand, you feel like you have to have a point to be able to speak and say something,
Agreed. I agree with that. Can we Okay, cool. Oh no, it's not done. Can we change that? Oh,
So I'm going through right now, so I'm unmuting everybody, and then anybody else that joins, if you'll be unmuted when you join.
cool.
And guys, remember, you know, Dane and I talk about it all the time. We want people to be encouraged to use your voice. Whatever you want to say, you know, you don't have to go on a long diatribe, and you certainly don't have to, you know, give us an essay. But if you want to feel compelled, if you want to say something, if you want to contribute, if you want to be heard, this is family. SquidGrow is all about family. Nobody is judged here. And so if you want to speak up and you want to say anything, anything at all, we'd love to hear it. Whether the hands have to be raised or not. I mean, again, I know we just unmuted people, but by all means, everybody join in. We see so many familiar names in the call. Suli, it's good to see you. James, TC, Jose, Crawdad, it's good to see you again too. Damasta, good to see you as well. Dr. Squid, DC's finest, is on the call. Everybody's here. And again, you don't have to be pressured. You don't have to feel that you have to talk at length about anything in particular, but use your voice, and it's all good.
Here we go. Floor is open. Everybody's unmuted.
Hello, guys. Happy birthday.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? Happy birthday. Thanks for being a
Yeah,
part of the community.
yeah. Thanks, Ship. Thanks. Then, Aaron, dreams, all of us, we are going to grow very fast.
Amen.
Cool.
Jose, I love when you come on because you encapsulate one giant point just in one simple statement. It's always good, and you got that
Thanks.
you got that great voice of yours. We are going to grow very fast, very strong, very fast. You know what? We're going to
Yeah.
grow. We're going to grow. And the thing about it is that, you know, I think people lose sight of this too. We're already growing, and that's what's incredible about this. You know, I said it before. I know. Oh yeah. I mean, we talk about it, right? It's hard. It's hard sometimes being patient. It's hard waking up every day, checking the charts, wondering if we've had any movement, wondering if we've raised in market cap, wondering if those big buys have come. But it's already happened. I mean, we're a year into this, and look where we're sitting. We're at 15 million market cap. It's absolutely fantastic. There's really no place. I mean, again, would it be great to be at 50? Oh yeah. Would it be great to be at 100? Fantastic. But you know what? We're right where we need to be right now, and it just gives a really good opportunity for new people to get in on the floor, buy in cheap, pick whichever side you want, get on staking, do your thing, and get yourself into position because, like you said, Jose, we are going to go fast and it's going to hit hard when it happens. And I think that everybody's just going to want to be around for that. So if you've been around this long, well, then you're in a great position. But if you just want to get into it, well, there's no better time to get in.
Yeah, I mean, we're currently just putting ourselves in position for the market to flip. You know, we're putting ourselves in front of the masses. You know, there, a lot of the things that we're doing has been a long process to get into place. You know, the next crypto gym TV show, Windy, Slum. These are all things that have been, you know, work in progress for a while. So, you know, moving forward, we're going to continue to keep the intensity of the current work ethic that we have, and just try to position ourselves to where, you know, we are constantly in people's faces. You know, what's this? You know, after somebody sees us so many times, they're actually going to take some time to look into us. What is this Shibtoshi? What is this SquidGrow project? You know, and then potentially, you know, some positive green buy pressure, you know, as a result of that. So all we can do is just, you know, put ourselves in position to be in people's faces, and, you know, continue to spread our message. Communities continuing to go out there on Twitter and spread the awareness of the project, you know, advertise our amazing APRs that we have and everything that we're doing, you know, security with our audits, and the message is going to get out there. This market sucks, you know, but I look forward to this market every year, you know, buying everything, all of my favorite coins at a discount. So, you know, I've actually been topping off my ship bags from some of my wallets actually currently. So,
You know, Sheeb, that's why we talk about, I know that's why I talk about it. And I really try to pump these words. I know I stuttered just there. Pump these words out. Inevitable and unavoidable. And so, you know, when I see Avengers and I hear Thanos going, I am inevitable. That's you, right? I mean, that's SquidGrow. SquidGrow's inevitable, guys. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. What we want to focus on is becoming unavoidable. And I think that's what everybody is doing an incredible job. From the top to the bottom, from everybody in the Shill team, from everybody on Twitter, from everybody doing their part in spreading awareness of SquidGrow. You do that, and we become unavoidable. We're already inevitable. So that's out of the question. That's going to happen. But if we can keep doing the work, keep getting SquidGrow, that's one of the great things about the World Tour contest was that, people had some incredible entries where, SquidGrow was all over the world. I mean, I told you my personal favorites. The Short Bus had a great thing in Chicago at the Museum of Art. I don't know how he managed to get a Shibtoshi necklace around the lion outside of the front of the museum, but that was pretty brilliant. Shuli had something right on the beach where she had an easel set up and she was doing artwork. Oh no, that wasn't Shuli. Maybe it was Shuli. Maybe it was Yasmin who had the beautiful, beautiful SquidGrow instructions with the NPC code or whatever it's called, the barcode, set up right somewhere, and I think it was somewhere in Europe, some 2,000-year-old monument. Again, the entries were so incredible and so original. But that all speaks to the efforts that we're trying to do to become unavoidable. And you do that, and you can't miss with SquidGrow. And so more people will be asking, what is this? More people will be saying, how do I get into it? And then again, once we set those seeds and we're ready to go for liftoff, like Jose was talking about, when the bull hits, everybody will be able to jump into SquidGrow however they please and whatever chain that they want to. So again, inevitable and unavoidable. Those are my two favorite buzzwords for SquidGrow.
Hey, can you guys hear me clear?
Yep, can hear you fine.
Shout out, man, Satoshi, Dane, the whole team, the moderators, Arn. Of course, I'm waiting for your audio book. I just want to say, man, like, it's happy birthday to SquidGrow. It's been like an awesome year. I know a lot of people haven't experienced the bull market, but like they said, when it happens, it's going to be a fantastic thing to experience. What I want to say is that in a lot of projects, when the market cap, when it goes down and it dips really hard, a lot of individuals will like panic. But us here at SquidGrow, when the market cap goes down, it's like it excites us because it gives us a better entry to DCA and to buy more. And that goes to show you how much of a strong community that we have and how much that we are really like, we really believe in Satoshi and the team. And that speaks volumes. I also want to say is that you don't find too many CEOs of a project who actually be this transparent with the community. They spoke about a situation where a few people lost their tokens, and now I'm a vet in crypto, but I made a dumb mistake, not paying attention, and I end up having one of my wallets compromised. Satoshi made me whole, and he didn't have to do that because it was my fault. And for him to do something like that speaks volumes in the type of person that he is. And that forever, for me and my wife, forever made us like we just dedicated to this project and to him and the team. And I just want people to know that. And I also want to put out there that SquidGrow is not doing any airdrops. So if y'all see that, do not click on it. It's a scam. The moderators would not DM you, so don't pay attention to that. But other than
Yeah,
all that,
I actually didn't realize it was you. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so we're dealing with another situation of one of these fake airdrop situations. We were able to catch it before the tokens were sold. I don't know of the exact situation. I don't know the details, but somehow or other they were pulled into a fake room and clicked on a link and connected their wallet for a SquidGrow airdrop. We're not doing airdrops. This particular individual's tokens were taken. We were able to blacklist the hacker's wallet, so the tokens are essentially trapped. I don't have all the details as it popped up while I was on space. So I just did a quick blacklist of the hacker's wallet. I don't have the details in front of me, but be careful. Again, guys, my mods and team members will never DM you first. We will never ask for your seed phrases. If you want to get in contact with us, drop a message in main and tag us in that message saying that you sent us a DM. Obviously, there is, if that's the first point of contact, if you have a running conversation with somebody that is already established as a mod, there could be situations where we will reach out to you if you've already established that communication. But if you are a first time uh, community member reaching out to the team will never message you first. We will always establish that point of communication through the main TG. You can always verify who the team is on our admin list. Everybody running around in here has tags. So just be mindful. There are a lot of people trying to target communities. So just be careful. As you know, Dr. Squid, you fell victim to one of these situations. So it is very unfortunate. We can't prevent everything. Just we are doing our very best. Just be mindful of wallet security. I will never ask you for your seed phrases. I will never ask you for money. Same for the rest of my team. So just be mindful. Wallet security is key.
And guys, remember, I mean, if there's anybody you want to ask for their seed phrase, it's Shitoshi. I don't think he'll give it to you, but I think we'd all love to have it. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Dr. Squid, you speak really so well about this, and thank you for that, by the way. You'll get a copy of my audiobook when it's ready. But, guys, security is something that the team has preached from the very beginning. And it's really no different than, I think, what everybody needs to know on Telegram. And that is just watch what you're clicking, watch what you're opening, watch who's DMing you. You can always look at the top. If they've never DM'd you before, you get those two options. I think it says block user, and then I forgot the other one, block user and accept. I don't remember, but watch, just be mindful. Just be mindful that on Telegram, all the good stuff that you have, the community, the camaraderie, the knowledge, the getting to know the space. Well, there's a lot of bad actors as well. And so before you click anything and engage with whatever that DM is, just be on the lookout. And certainly when it comes to SquidGrow, no, there's no airdrops. There's no secondary SquidGrow room. And, you're not going to get a DM from Penis Parker. You're not going to get a DM from William. You're not going to get a DM from Slayham. You're not going to get a DM from any of them. So, always come into the room, always talk about it, of course. We'll always be there. But just be mindful because, again, as great and as beneficial as this space is for all of us, and that's what we want, is to have fun, to learn, to engage with others. There's always some nefarious stuff going around. So just be mindful of that. And happy hunting.
Good
What's going on,
guys.
everybody?
Naeem, hey.
How are you guys?
Good, brother. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, man. Happy Father's Day to you guys. I'm not a father, but I'm just excited for the anniversary of SquidGrow. Birthday coming up. Shib, how are you, bud?
Hey, bud, I'm doing well. Sorry about that. I'm just in DMs right now responding to stuff. I'm doing well. Happy Father's Day to you and yours. If you're a father, just hanging out, full belly, jumped on that Twitter space, had a good showing out there. So thank you to the community for popping on there and listening to us on the space and sharing it, but all's going well. Can't complain at all.
Nice, man. Well, SquidGrow community stands out from any other community we know in this space, so that's just the way it is. I know I've been a little MIA lately, man, just been busy as hell, but I'm still in full support of SquidGrow as always, so.
How's everything going with the restaurants?
It's going good, man. Just busy, and I don't know what's going on with the younger generation, man. Like people just don't really want to work. I had one person that told me, I don't mop, I don't clean, I don't this, and I said, and you also don't work here. Have a nice day.
You know what? He is. Yeah, you're
I
right.
really
That's a
didn't
great
know how
response
else
as
to
well.
respond,
Listen, are you outside right now? You sound like you're having a beautiful midsummer's night dream. Where I hear the crickets in the background. Where are you?
Yep. I'm just outside and it's finally cooled down a little bit. It was a hot day. I
Very
was
nice.
stuck in the kitchen for the majority of it, and it gets extra hot back there. So,
Well, at least
how
you're
are
not
you
getting
doing,
bit
man?
by
How is
mosquitoes like me.
yeah? How's your new home treating you, Arn?
Oh yeah, guys, it's beautiful. My wife loves it. The kids love it. We bought I had a brand new home. It's absolutely wonderful. We love it, and my toe is feeling a lot better. For those that are speaking of DMs, I've gotten a bunch of DMs about that. My toe is better. I was at a Chili's restaurant over a week ago, and the front door, I don't know how because they're 500 pounds, but the front door went over my foot and sliced up my thumb toe. So I had to have it taken off, and I'll be in a bandage for the next couple of weeks. But that's doing good. The house is doing good. The kids are doing good. The wife is doing good, and you can't ask for more. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I hear you. Anyway, I just wanted to pop in since I seen the voice chat on. I got to run. But yeah, guys, happy birthday to SquidGrow. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers in here. Um, and yeah, man, I've just kind of been like really active in real life. And you know what? Sometimes that's important too, guys. You know, think of your mental health and like, you know, actually go outside and do things. I know at times it's like very easy to get sucked into Telegram and crypto 24/7 and whatnot, but mental health is also very important, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more about that. And thanks for bringing that up about mental health. And we've talked about that, guys, before. On other VCs, random ones that Dane and I have had. The need, the benefit of taking a break sometimes, shutting off the phone, turning off the charts, stepping away from Telegram and from this little game that we all love to play of crypto and fun and camaraderie and community. And it's great because it feels so real when we're here, and it is real. It's very real. But at the same time, you've got a real life outside of here. And so the chart's not going anywhere. The community is not going to go anywhere. It's important sometimes to step away, sign off, and just step outside. I know Papa loves to use the phrase, touch the grass. And it's true. You got to get out.
Yeah,
You got to see the grass. You got to sniff the trees. You got to breathe the
it's
air.
true.
So that's great, Naeem. That's great that you pointed that out. It is so important. This space can really take a lot out of people, not only when you're up, but definitely when you're down. And it's important to remember, guys, that there's a whole life going on
Yeah,
outside of
yeah,
Telegram and outside of crypto.
absolutely. But anyway, guys, you know, Shib, team, Arn, Dane, everybody, Squid Grow community, love you guys. Keep pushing, keep faith in this amazing of a project we all have here. You know, don't always focus on the chart. Chart it's going to do what it's going to do. What's important is, you know, there's always some being built, always some being done. And, you know, we all know where this is headed. So everybody here, you know, I think you're in the right spot. I've said this before, you know, like if you're in crypto, but you're not in Squid Grow, I don't think you belong in crypto. You know what I mean? Like this, I think, is going to build generational wealth. But keep in mind, guys, you know, like this isn't a handout. You know what I mean? Like we have to make this project together by all putting in effort. And I mean, you know, sometimes we support with money, sometimes we support with shilling, you know, the Twitter raids and everything. But like I said, I mean, you know, we're we're a community like no other in the space. And I think with this team, with this community, success is really the only real future, you know. And you know, of course, none of this is financial advice. I only give medical advice, but um, you know, it's one of those things, man. I have 100% faith in not just Shib and the team, but also in the community. And it's just, you know, amazing to witness the growth of this project, the way where it's headed, how it's going, where it came from, how it started. You know, you look back this last year, you know, like how many lives SquidGrow has already changed. And, you know, I think we've truly grown into an actual community, like a family, you know, where there is, you know, people in this community that I really care about. And I think, you know, like even if we were to meet in real life, we would all kick it and really get along, you know, because we're all really a lot of like-minded people. And it's amazing to witness, you know. I'm happy to be a part of it all. And at the same time, I feel humbled, but I also feel very lucky to have found SquidGrow when I found SquidGrow, and you know, met some amazing people. And yeah, man, you know, the only way is up. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna take off, but love all of you guys, and it's an honor to be amongst y'all. So we'll talk soon.
Have a good night, Naeem. Feel good.
Take it easy, buddy. I appreciate it.
Let's go to JB. JB is on the call. Are you able to speak tonight, JB? Welcome. Happy 1-year anniversary. How's everything going? And happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all. Super exciting times, 1-year anniversary. I've been here the majority of these 12 months, and it's been just a stunning ride. I got to tell everyone that hasn't been there quite this long, stay the course. The ups and downs in crypto can be daunting and, you know, sometimes a little bit scary. Arn was right. Turn off the phone. Don't panic sell. You're in for an amazing ride here. This team is the best team in crypto by far. They're going to make things happen. I happen to know that it's only going to get much better. And I don't even think we're going to have to wait till the next bull market. I think we're going to start seeing things turning and starting to move up with the better crypto projects sooner than that. But when we hit the bull market, the sky's the limit. So very excited for everyone. Enjoy time with your family. Enjoy the rest of the Father's Day, and let's fucking grow.
Let's
Hell
grow.
yeah. Always good to hear from you, JB. Always good. Always
A
good.
pleasure.
Always good. Short bus.
And you know what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. I just wanted to piggyback off what you guys said. You know, because I'm a gym rat. But yeah, man, just take time away from crypto. Because I remember like a few weeks back, I had to take like a week off, and it really did me some good justice. So don't watch the chart all the time. And you know, if you into SquidGrow, your money is safe. Like I'm telling you, you have nothing to worry about. And as I said before, every time when people are in certain projects and then the market dips, people panic. But here at SquidGrow, we don't panic. We just pounce and buy more and then stake it and then we forget it. So, you know, your money's safe. Take some time out, enjoy the walking on the grass, enjoy time with family, and you know, you'll be all right. All right, I'm off the call.
Thanks, Doctor, man. That's a great point. You have to find the balance, right? It's just to be at your best in this space, because it will consume you if you don't have a balance. You have to have that balance. Shout out to all the gym rats out there, man. I think there's a lot of us actually in SquidGrow that take health, fitness, and gains very seriously.
Yeah,
So,
bro. Yeah, look, I finally saw your picture, and I'm like, you know what? I got to put my picture back up. You know, I mean, I saw those guns. I got to show mine very soon.
Well, now you got to grow
yeah.
your beard. You got to grow your beard out as well.
Oh no, that's not me. No.
Hey guys, I had a question. I don't know if you can help me out. I have my cousin. He had initially staked his tokens in the original contract we had, like 255 days ago, and I kept telling him recently. I'm like, you know, I thought he had put it in the second contract we had, and he hadn't. So today, when he went on the old site, which is squidgrow.wtf,
The
it's
swap.
showing he has,
So
yeah,
it's
it's showing he
swap.
has 0, you know. So how do I access that on the original site?
Dean. So I was speaking to somebody about this in DMs. I'm not sure if it was your brother or not. So
Yeah,
a good
it
place
was.
to
It was me, actually.
Okay. Send me his address. Hang on, let me go to our chat real quick. 1 second. Okay, I don't have any messages from you. Send me his address. So what you can do, a way that you can find out where the tokens are staked is you can actually go to the old staking contract. You go to the read function of the contract, and there is a tab that says user info. So assuming that he staked just tokens, it wasn't LP.
It was
So
just tokens.
so the UID for the pool UID is going to be 0, and you put his address into the address bar, and then you hit query, and that will tell you how many tokens he actually has in there. If they're not in that pool, then check pool 1, which is the liquidity pool. Some people have thought that they had liquidity stake, but they actually had regular token staked, and vice versa. So that will tell you what pool he's actually in. Also, dropping me the address, we can actually look on the blockchain to see what he did with his tokens.
Yeah, because I looked at, I went on his transactions because we're real close anyway. But so he's pretty he's low tech, So I'm helping him out, and when I looked at all his transactions, it's showing that he staked it. And then I looked at every transaction after that. I never saw it sold. It never went anywhere else.
Can you do me a favor and drop me his address right now, and I might be able to actually pinpoint it down while we're on VC.
All right, I'm a little. Who am I talking to right now?
You're talking to Shibtoshi.
Oh, Shib. Okay.
So also, was it the contract that we just migrated from, or was it the previous contract?
The original one.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, give me his address. I'll check both contracts. If he's in the original staking contract, he's going to have to withdraw those tokens directly from the contract itself. So I will pinpoint where his tokens are, and then we can go from there. So if he's in the original contract where you cannot connect to it with the swap.squidgrow.wtf, he will have to go to the original contract, connect his wallet, and just do the withdrawal function on that contract, and it will pull the tokens out. We no longer, that contract, the original staking contract was kind of migrated, obviously, I believe in September. So when you go to swap.squidgrow.wtf, it pulls up the last contract that we just migrated from. So if it's the previous contract, you can just interact directly with that contract. We actually have instructions on how to do that floating around. I'll see if I can get a mod to drop it to you, but let's start with his address. I'll look in the old contract and see what tokens he has there. I do see that we still have, some big dollar amounts in that old contract. So hopefully he can help us clear that out with his withdrawal. So not everybody has withdrawn from that original OG contract. So, but there is a way to do it. They're safe in the contract. It's just all about having the knowledge of how to withdraw it. So it's pretty straightforward. So drop me that address, and I will check real quick.
Now, do you want me to drop it in Telegram?
No, drop it in personal DMs. Personal DMs. We don't need to advertise his wallet address publicly. So just send it to me directly in DM. I have you. Well, hang on. I had you. Let me find you real quick. Corey. Okay, so I'm waiting for your message. So just send it to me, and I will tell you exactly where his tokens are in a moment.
Hold on a second. So personal DMs in Telegram, right?
Yeah, on Telegram. Yeah. So just go to just find a message from me in main chat, and just click on send message.
All right, I will. I'll send you over his wallet address, and if you could give me those directions on how to do it, because I'm not really confident on how to do that myself.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah.
It's Slayham here. Those are the instructions that I sent you in DM on Discord.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out, and I will send that over to you, Shib.
Hey, appreciate you, Slay, for that. Yeah. So first, let's find out where his tokens are, and then it's going to be the instructions going from there. I just want to make sure that we can actually locate his tokens. Some people thought that they were in the original OG staking contract, when in actuality they migrated to the new contract. But if he's connecting with our swap, our swap.squidgrow.wtf, and nothing's registering. He's probably in the original contract, so it's pretty straightforward to get the tokens out. It's not really a hassle.
Yeah, Shib, I just sent you over
Okay.
a message. I don't know if you got it.
Yeah, I got it. I just
Okay.
responded.
Yep. All right, I'll send you over that wallet address. I appreciate the help.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Don't mention it.
I see that we have Pug on the call. Pug, would you like to join us? Happy 1 year anniversary. I know you've been in since the beginning. Pug's elusive. We don't always get him to talk, but one of these days, we're going to get him up here. I have no doubt about it. Short Bus is on the call. Short Bus, you want to join us? Short Bus, guys, for those that don't know, is the man behind the incredible SquidGrow World Tour contest entry. He'll tell you all about it if he can come up there with his incredible how he did it. He put the Shitoshi necklace around the lion outside the Chicago Museum of Art. Really impressive. How you doing, Short Bus?
I'm all right. Just went and got some cookies.
That's right.
My inner fat.
Tell us about what you're working on these days. I know you did that incredible entry. You also had a what is it called again? It was like not a curtain, but you made a SquidGrow. What's it called? Like a stand cover.
No, it's a pop-up tent. It's a 10 by
Pop-up
15
tent,
pop-up
pop-up
tent
tent.
to go over my truck at car shows.
Nice pop-up tent. That's the word I was looking for. That's so cool.
Yeah.
How are things going in Chicago?
That's good. Weather's nice.
Nice. Is it getting humid there? I know sometimes Chicago can get humid there.
Today wasn't so bad.
Nice.
Depends on the day. Depends on how hot it is. If it's cool, it's not humid.
Yeah, Chicago's a great town.
Yep, waiting for you to come get some RPM.
I gotta get some. I know it's real good there. Real good. I used to go to what was it, Carson's, when I was a kid, and I would come to Chicago to see my family. We'd go to Carson's for ribs.
Yep. I've been known to eat 3 slabs of ribs in there at the same time.
It's really good stuff. I recommend everybody go to Chicago if you're driving through. Go to Carson's and enjoy the ribs there. Let's see who we got on the call here now. Frank N, it's always good to see you. Luminous Squid, James, Shulay's on the call. You want to come up and say hi? How you doing, girl?
Hi guys.
Hey, great to hear from you.
How are you, Shulay?
Happy birthday, SquidGrow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Shulay's great. She, of course, if you don't know her entry, she just actually put it in her profile photo. She did that really lovely, set up an easel right on the beach and did some incredible SquidGrow artwork. The logo right there on the beach. That's one of the best pictures I've seen, just period. It's just a great photo of her right there on the beach doing the art. That was a great entry, Shulay. Good of you to do that.
He painted the actual logo too. Do you know how hard that is to get the dimensions of a circle like that right on the canvas?
Yeah.
It's very impressive, Sule. Is that a I'm trying to take a guess here. I know it's like a Caribbean beach there. Is that maybe Cuba that you're in on that beach?
Yes, it's Verdadero Beach, guys, in Cuba. Yes, it was hard.
You got it right, Dave. She's definitely in Cuba.
Awesome. I was shot in the dark. I wasn't sure if I was way off or not, but I noticed the same. Kind of gave it away. It's like the only thing I've heard that has the white sands yet, really.
That's right. Dane is an expert in shorelines and sand color. Oh man, let's keep going down the line. We've got Sesh. Oh,
I also make something great, right?
Sorry, Ezra. Go ahead. Ezra, were you saying something? All right, we'll come back to Ezra. Sesh is on the call now. It's always a tough time. Sometimes Sesh is eating. Sometimes he may be in the shower. It's very rare when we can get Sesh on the call, but we do have him with us. Sesh, are you with us? And would you like to jump on and say hello?
Hello, Arn.
Here he is. How's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. I just jumped out of the shower.
Oh, guys. Oh, he's the man. Yeah, there he is. Guys, for those that don't know Sesh, again, he does these he's the man. I mean, he is an incredible artist. If you haven't heard any of his tracks, really gotten the lay of just his incredible artistry. He's a great rapper. This guy's got great flow, and he's done some incredible just call it SquidGrow pieces. I mean, even though it's music, but you can still call it a piece. Sesh, you really are the man, and your work is just you're incredible, man.
I appreciate it, man. Always appreciate the kind words. Always making me blush. I'm just sitting here about to make a tea.
Well, your work is great.
I gotta say, we sorry about that, Arn.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I gotta say, we gotta start out every AMA with that track. That was awesome.
Agreed. Fire.
That's a good way to segue into it. Have the room build, and like that was awesome.
I've often said that I think Sesh sounds like the Kiwi Eminem, and I mean that in the highest compliment. I mean, Eminem, the flow on Eminem, the intonation in the not only in the vowels and in the rhymes and in the raps, but Sesh. Well, the words sound the same. Sesh uses a lot of the same kind of flow that Eminem does. So if you guys are Eminem fans, have a listen to some of Sesh's work. I mean, it's purely Sesh, but a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the flow and a lot of the bounce to it reminds me a lot of early Eminem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You're welcome.
It was like, I don't know what you did there to play that shit, but I was worried that when you were about to play it, that it would have sounded all muffled or something on the speakers, but it actually came through very clear. It was pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie.
Dane, real quick, let me give a shout out to my boy Zach. That's my guy from work I was telling you about, who I'm going to get in this project. It's his first time in a VC Telegram. What's up, Zach? Thanks for coming, dude. You don't got to say
how's it
nothing
going,
if you
Zach?
don't want. He didn't believe Danny Mancada's in this thing. He's like, what? No way.
Yeah, he's in here.
Yeah, we're gonna get this boy. We're gonna get this boy in DeFi, whether he likes it or not. We're gonna set him up.
Welcome, Zach. Glad to have you.
It's always good to bring a new person on board.
That's the one
You
thing
know,
that's
and once
very
you get
great
the
about
hang
this
of it,
community is anybody that comes in, everybody's new and starting. And I mean, I'd never been on the BSC side until I got into this project 11 months ago, and everyone in the community is so willing to help. So obviously you got a great person in Dreams to help you, but chat's always open, and we got a great community to help you, Zach.
yeah, if this is his first experience in DeFi, you really couldn't pick a better place. You want something that is less complicated, more answers, more a warmer environment, and something that is going to be a solid first experience. In navigating Telegram, as well as all the steps that one has to take. In DeFi, and again, there's not that many steps once you get the hang of it. But when you're first coming on board, DeFi can be very overwhelming to people in terms of, again, like I said, how are you going to get your money into DeFi? How are you going to swap it for BNB? Does it have to be wrapped? Does it have to be unwrapped? Does it have to be, can I do it from my Trust wallet? I mean, the questions just go on and on and on. But when you come into a project like SquidGrow, yeah, you can't beat it in terms of the first project to be involved in. Just with everything that it has going for it, not just as a project and as a token, but in terms of the community. And again, guys, if you were listening to the spaces earlier, a lot of these big names that are now starting to come on board, and they're starting to really give us the love. One of the things they always talk about is the community. So the community is where it's at. And I think that the fact that some of these big names that you're seeing on Twitter with 200, 300, 400, 500,000 followers, You know, they're known for their wallets. They're known for, of course, their the prestige that they have and the influence that they have in the space. But the fact that they're talking about how rockin' the community is, that is a testament to everybody in here. That's a testament to not just Cheap Toshi and the project, but to all of you guys. You know, and so I think that if the reputation is strong in the community, that's what you want first and foremost. Everybody's going to already know the story, and they're going to know the you know the people behind the project. But without the community, guys, you know, there's not really a lot there. You can have the best token in the world, but if the community isn't backing it, you know, you're not going to go far. And I've said so many times before that, you know, in crypto, a real good project is like a car, right? I mean, what makes a car run? Well, you got the engine, and you have the wheels, right? The engine makes it run. The engine turns on all the stuff. The engine is what gives it what gives it the juice. But the wheels are what directs the car. The wheels are what takes the car where it needs to go. You know, and in this space, we have the best car, okay? Because Sheep Toshi is the engine, R-Dub is the engine, Dane is the engine. You can't go wrong. It's one of the best. It's the Rolls Royce, if you will. But we have the best wheels, and the community is really where. That's what's going to take SquidGrow to the top. It's not going to be just Sheeb, and it's not going to just. It's going to be the community. And so I think that again, you know, Zach, welcome to crypto, my brother. You picked the right project to get into.
That's for sure, man. A lot of projects out there that you could have dove into that were, you know, pretty perilous and ugly. And
we got Patrick Broadsman on the call. How are you? We got V. Suhove on the call. Squiddy, a lot of familiar names. You guys want to come up and join us? Happy Father's Day and happy 1 year anniversary.
Oh, thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. It's always good to see you guys turning out. I think we did pretty well in that space. I saw nothing but SquidGrow logos and familiar faces in there, and I think a lot of people that were ETH fans of Varovich and Pro the Doge got to see what we're about today, and that's huge. Spreading the message one person at a time, like Dreams illustrated. We'd love to see it.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, Dane, how are you?
Hey, man, doing well. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. For everybody who doesn't know, my name is Slava, so I know my logging, the username is kind of hard to pronounce. So just in the future, yeah, just nice to meet you, everybody.
It's good to have you on the call. How do you pronounce? Just so we all get it right.
Just Slava. Yeah, that's easier.
Slava.
Yeah, it's easier.
Okay, so no more. So definitely not V. Suhove.
Yeah. That's yeah.
All right, that's good to know. So if you guys see V. Suhove, just forget that name and just address him as Slava. Good, man. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, not bad. Just working, and that's pretty much it.
Nice. Now, do you work out of that incredible card that you have in your profile
photo? Which car? Sorry.
Oh, there's a couple of them. No, I was going to say you have that wonderful vehicle in your second profile photo.
Oh yeah, that's the car that I drive.
Nice. That's a good car. Where are you, Slava? Where in the world are you?
Toronto. Yeah,
okay.
I've been in community for about, I don't know, a year now. We've talked to Papa before, but he's not in the chat anymore. So we've talked to Dane. Dane probably heard me so many times and can probably remember. Yeah, I've been in community for a long time. So happy that I found. Took me a little while to kind of pull the trigger, as I said before, but you know, I think I did the right choice, and glad to be here. And yeah.
Nice. That's so great. That's really good. Do they celebrate Father's Day up in Canada as well?
Oh yeah. We do.
Nice. Are you a father?
That's not yet.
Okay.
Probably soon though.
Good.
It's already time, but just all the work stuff, and I guess you're never ready though. But
listen. I hate to say it, but like SquidGrow, becoming a father, there's a lot of steps to it. Actually, there's not. You can become a father easily, but but if you want to do it the right way, there's a lot of steps you have to take in order to be a father. Most notably,
that's for sure, and that's a lot of responsibility. That's for sure.
Yeah.
100% agree. I actually
Yeah.
wanted to ask Dane a question if you have a second.
You, man. Hanging out with
Hey,
you guys.
Dane. Yeah. I was just seeing that a lot of popularity on the Bitcoin side with the BRC. No, it's a BRC 20, I guess. Is there any plan for you to actually participate into the Bitcoin stuff, NFTs? There's something that you guys actually thinking, because I guess it's kind of growing fast. So maybe it's a good idea to catch that. More people from the Bitcoin side. So if
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
not relevant, yeah.
it's been talked about, but it's relatively new. I'm not about to jump on a new chain unless
Okay.
it's until it's proven.
Oh yeah, sure.
I
You can go. Yeah.
But yeah,
would.
it's been talked about. We've spoken about it.
Because it's a
We keep.
huge. I mean, it's growing so fast. It's just out of proportion, I guess.
I'm in some stats, Slava, for that, and I know Shiv is too. We just like how Arbitrum popped up and became a massive thing, but now the volume is like diminished really, really bad since the gas came back down. We're always wary when you see something new like that to see whether it can stand the test of time, whether it can become a real thing, and certainly if it can, if it can go 6 months plus with consistent growth during a bear market, then we start taking it a bit more seriously. But I'm always skeptical of new blockchains when they get their first hype wave because much like a meme coin that pumps and gets all crazy, once that volume drops off on that certain chain, they have to do a hell of a lot of work to get people back to using that chain. Now, BRC 20 is kind of an exception to that, obviously, because you're tapped into potentially a lot of OG blue chip Bitcoin type people. So maybe that's their special thing that will allow them to be, the next big chain. But I think it's still a free for all as far as what we see emerge as third place next to ETH and BSC, because they're still two of the kingpins as far as I'm aware. Even Arbitrum has fallen off well behind BSC. So, it remains to be seen, where we might dive into, but it's definitely on our radar, to say the least.
That's for sure. I do agree. It needs to sustain some time to see whether that's going to actually sustain. That's for sure. It's a valid point, but I'm happy that you guys actually discussing that, because that's good stuff. Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to see what emerges as the next big blockchain. Obviously, I think we all agree that ETH is not going anywhere ever, and I think if you bet against Binance, that's a poor bet. But there is a lot of room there for another big dog to come up. Maybe it's Cadena, maybe it's Solana, maybe it's Cardano that finally emerges as a big thing. Maybe it's one of these other ones like BRC that's just come on, or maybe Arbitrum has a comeback when ETH gas goes crazy. But whatever takes that third place going into the next bull run is certainly going to get a lot of attention. Maybe it's Kronos, maybe it's even KuCoin or something. No one really knows, but if you do throw your project and especially give it more liquidity onto a chain like that, and it happens to drop off or fall off, that's a really bad image to try to keep, and it can potentially be just something that keeps you stuck, almost like something you're dragging along. So when it comes to choosing another chain in the future, it's something that we're going to take very seriously as far as what we decide to choose, should we go that route.
That's for sure. And Ashib, I have a last question for you.
Sorry about that. I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, it's okay. Any plans or maybe L1 at some point?
Say that again.
Any plans on maybe
Oh,
developing
a layer
L1?
one.
Layer one? I mean, I don't say it just makes sense to develop another L1 because there's so many, but then if there's something that you can figure out that it will work in a certain way better than others in terms of transaction, then it's a valid it's a valid argument. But that's just,
I,
I think sorry, yeah, sorry I interrupt. We've discussed that, I don't know, like 7 months ago, 6 months ago. Maybe you were guys kind of thinking about it, but is there any progress into it, or it's just somewhere, maybe it's not even written or
Yeah,
anything?
it's not made any progress since then. We've got other things we are currently focused on. It has been discussed, but it hasn't really been dove into, if that makes sense.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. Satoshi and Dane, how did you guys feel about the first year anniversary of the project?
Right, Chip?
Um, how do you mean? How do you?
Like, how do you feel? Like, I mean, it's been a year. It's your baby. I mean, how do you feel that you've come this far? Like, how do you feel right now? Are you stoked or?
Um, yeah, well, of course, I'm stoked. I mean, this is a milestone. In the beginning when we launched, there was a lot of people out there that said we wouldn't make it to the 1 year mark. We'd fall victim to market or whatever it was. We've definitely, in my opinion, we've done pretty well in our first year. Obviously, I had hoped that our market cap would have been a little higher at this point in time, but with everything that we've put out in the community that we're developing, I'm happy with it. I'm completely satisfied. I wish that we could have you know uh sped up the process and some of the things we're developing and gotten them out, but yeah, development takes time. um but all in all, I'm completely happy. We've weathered a lot of FUD, a lot of storms, a lot of up and downs, black swans, and we continue to come out on top. So I mean, there was a lot of people saying back in December when we were around 5 million that we were only going to continue to go down from there. Obviously we recovered from that, shot up to about 30 million, started consolidating. But each time we go up or down, we're building a stronger floor and stronger liquidity pools with that. So I mean, I'm completely happy. The time seems to have flown by. Looking back, it's been a long process. um, when we launched the project a year ago, I was dealing with COVID, and just kind of looking back on what we have accomplished thus far, I'm completely satisfied. Obviously, like I said, I wish our market cap was a little higher, but I can't stress on the things that I can't control.
Yeah, I echo your sentiment there, Ship. I think that it's been a crazy year, but we've grown in so many ways. Just about every way you can possibly look into, we've grown from a development perspective to the team, the talent that we have around us, the incredible influencers and community that come here and hang out with us every day. It's been a time where we can sort of build this monster behind the scenes and position ourselves to become one of the main, biggest ever monsters going into the next bull cycle. And it's been nice to have that time because these things do take time. If we only had, let's say the bull market was back in Christmas, we might not have been able to realize our highest potential. So this time where our market cap's lower can be brutal if you look at it that way, but it's also allowing us to build a more polished machine. And that's what I see from my perspective, is that everything is being improved. Like even Shibtoshi himself, the way you spoke today on the spaces, you absolutely destroyed it. I just wanted to shut up and listen personally because you covered everything really, really well. And I've seen an improvement in your public speaking in that time. Just everything, So I'm very happy with the first year too, but I do look at it as a page turner. I look at the first year as our grassroots growth, getting out off the floor and turning into something with a vision. And so now we get to turn the page, move to ETH, move to the utilities dropping, and position ourselves to be something really truly special. So I think it's been a very big success, and I'm happy to have been a part of it and fortunate to be able to watch it from my point of view. It's been exciting to see.
Dr. Squid with the therapy question. How do you feel? That's a great starter. That's a good therapy question. I like that a lot. Guys, look, I think that and that was a great question, by the way. Let's get right down to the nitty gritty. Shibtoshi, Dane, um, their experience, while it's different, of course, I mean, it is Sheep's project. I think everybody should just be. We all have a stake in this, and depending on when you got in, you've been through ups and you've certainly been through downs. And I'm speaking purely about charts. Everybody should feel good about where we are right now. And I say that because look, we're still here. I mean, we launched last year in a bear of a bear market. And Shibtoshi, at any given time, that's what's so remarkable about Shibtoshi. And I've said this before, he wouldn't, Shibtoshi's, he's a guy, right? I know he's listening on the call too. He's just a man like all of us. He's a person like all of us. Part of what makes his story special, as we all know, of course, is the holding that he has done, the Sheeb story, the Sheba story. And at any given time, he could have sold. He could have sold. He could have sold at 4 million. He could have sold at 5 million. He could have sold when his 8K turned to, I think it was $8. Is that correct, Sheep? That was the lowest that it went down to, $8.
Well, the clarify on that, I hadn't yet injected $8,000 when my investment was $8.
Correct.
I was
Not
still
in
dollar
total.
cost averaging. Yeah, I wasn't completely in. I was still dollar cost averaging. But yeah, I mean, a couple
Right.
$100 was down to $8 before.
Right,
You know,
right.
I bought the top. I was
There it is.
buying the top.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You ape the top, but you know, guys, look, Sheep's story is really no different from any of ours. The only thing that makes it different is because his wallet is absolutely gargantuanly greater than ours. But other than that, his story is no different than ours. He aped. He could have sold. He didn't. Period. That is how it works. We've all been part of projects before where we aped in, whether it was the top, close to the top. At some point, the investment went down. And we made that choice. Do I stay or do I go? Do I sell or do I hold? And for many of us, we've sold. We've cut our losses and we've sold. And then what happens? The chart goes back up. Oops, I shouldn't have sold. And we all know the feeling. We all know the feeling. Now look, let's be real. Not every project is a Shiba, right? I mean, not every project goes through what Shiba did. It was a kind of a bit of an anomaly in terms of you don't see projects that come around that much. We all know the story. We know what happened. But again, let's get back to Shitoshi. He held. He could have sold at 1 million. He could have sold when his bag was worth 10 million. He could have sold when he had $100 million. He kept holding. Now, could any of us have held that long? I don't know. That's a lot of holding right there. But he kept holding. And when he came out with this project, I say it all the time, that he said in the very beginning when he launched SquidGrow, I love the phrase. I think it's the best phrase of all. If you could hold for 400 days, would you? That's what he asked the community. He said it. He said it to everybody. If you could hold for 400 days, would you? And I think, Steve, how many days was it until your bag reached the all-time high?
oh, you're testing me, dude.
I think it was
It
418 or something like that.
So I can't tell you the exact day amount. It was November. November
No, yeah,
2nd is
not the
when
day, but it was like 400 something days, right?
Yeah, it was like November 2nd. I
Right.
started splitting my wallet up.
Right. But anyway, guys, the point is that he asked everybody, could you hold? If you could do it, could you hold for 400 days? And I think that that's part of what makes the magic of SquidGrow so real, is that what she wanted to do was not duplicate, but kind of bring a little bit of that the magic that his experience, bring that what he experienced with Shiba over to SquidGrow. Have the ups and downs, have the wait, have the patience, have the bullishness of, because we all know what happened with Shiba. It was up and then it went down. It was in the tubes for a while and then it just went right up. It just shot right up. And so, Dr. Squid, your question was great in terms of how do you feel? I mean, that's a great question. I don't know if Shitoshi ever actually got that question before. Have you ever just had anybody say to you, so how do you feel?
I think I've gotten it once or twice, on Spaces. Obviously personally, I've got friends that ask me all the
How do
time.
you? It's like a loaded question. I mean, it's such a real question. Um, but again, guys, SquidGrow is really emblematic, in my opinion, okay, of what crypto should be, because we all know that there's lots of easy money to be made in crypto, easy X's. Projects go parabolic, projects launch, and then they've made 50x, right? But those are few and far between. I mean, the X's are everywhere you look, depending on what X's are you talking about. I mean, if a project launches at $5 market cap and it's on BSC or ETH and it gets to, I don't know, it gets to 5,000 market cap, someone's going to say, oh, it 100x. Yeah, 100x at 5,000 market cap. All right, well, there's your X's right there. But if you really want real gains, just like in the real world, you got to hold. You got to ride the waves. Investing is about putting your money into something and watching it grow and being part of the growth of that company / project. And I think that with SquidGrow, as I said, it's emblematic, in my view, of what crypto should be. Projects that are built, projects that are cultivated, projects that are carefully orchestrated and run with the right people in them. That's what you want. And so if you're still part of SquidGrow, I say it all the time, if you've been holding this long, just keep holding. Just keep holding with us. We're going to go up, and we're going to go up, and we're going to go up, and there may be some downs too, but it doesn't matter because this project is aiming for the top. And when you have a guy like Chiptoshi with his resources, his knowledge, as well as the connections, all right. But with all of that being said, this project's going to be here for a long time. And I know that Chiptoshi is listening, and I'm sure he can attest to it. He didn't get into this project you know, just to have a token that, you know, goes to 50 million. And well, okay, well, I guess that's all we could reach. No, he said in the beginning, I'm going for the king. And again, I'm sure everybody asks you as well, Chiptoshi, what you mean by that. But like he's always said, it's open to interpretation.
Correct. Definitely open to interpretation, but I know what the meaning means for me. But obviously, I'll keep that personal.
Of course. And it could be open to anybody, guys. I mean, again, what does the king mean to you, right? Is the king Doge? Is the king Shiba? Is the king Bitcoin? It doesn't matter. And whatever it means to Chiptoshi, it shouldn't even matter to us either. What it means is that Chiptoshi is not going anywhere. He's not going to give up. This is his passion. And I've said many times, guys, on VCs before about how in life, because everybody always asks the question, right? When the major hurdle for SquidGrow when we first got started was, is he really the guy? I mean, if he's a billionaire, what's he doing with a project like this? Shouldn't he be on a beach somewhere? I mean, right? People are always asking Chiptoshi that. If you're a billionaire,
Oh, I
what are you
hate
doing?
that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
so
right.
hate
I
that.
mean, right. Think about that, right? In life, people want passion, and in life, people want purpose. Passion are the things you enjoy. Passion is the things that you love doing. Passion is all your hobbies, your vices, your love, your family, all of that. But what you also need is purpose. And many people love to go to work every day. Many people don't retire until 70. I know they're trying to raise the retirement age too, but that's another story altogether. But many people always want something to do. They want something to keep busy. They want something to give, not just something to earn. And that is what Chiptoshi has done with SquidGrow. He wants to make his mark on this community, on crypto. That is a passion. That is a purpose. That is what he is doing with SquidGrow. And so I think if you're part of it, then you should really be blessed to be a part of a project like this. Because I've said it before, this isn't just some token that you guys are part of. This is going to be a real story in the world of crypto. It's going to be something that is going to last the ages, so to speak. And so, we should all be very fortunate to be a part of it.
And for him to his purpose is to make everyone live the life that he's living right now, to create generational wealth. For him to sit there and say, you know what, I'm tired of my friends and my family and other people in the spaces being rug pulled and scammed. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start my own project and I'm gonna help others from the big guy to the little guy. And that's a selfless act for me, and that's amazing. And like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm Squid Grow forever. No matter if when I become a millionaire with Squid Grow, I'm still gonna be a Squid Grow man. So yeah, just trust the process. Um, no matter how much it dips, buy more, DCA, stake, forget it, come back to it within a few months, a year, and I guarantee your life will be changed.
Right. That's right. And you know what? Look, without putting a money figure on it, right? Because I don't know. I mean, again, a lot of money is up to interpretation for a lot of people, right? And will everybody become a millionaire with SquidGrow? Hopefully. Will some people maybe only get 50,000? Yeah, maybe. If some people only get 100,000, yeah, maybe. But that's okay. It's up to each person, what they want to make, right? But I think it's beyond that. I think that what Shitoshi has done, obviously the money aspect of it, we all want to win, we all want to make money. That's great, 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 great. But what you want out of crypto, and this is what we're all, I think, striving for as well, is not just a fat wallet, but just to trust, just to know that you aped into a project that isn't going to screw you and that has got your back, and that it's not going to be another one where you chalk it up to a bad decision and you aped into a project that went belly up and it was, it just went bad, right? That's what I think Shibtoshi also wanted to do, and he said it many times. He created this so that he could have a place for family and friends to invest safely, where you didn't have to worry about getting rug pulled or scammed or any kind of funny business, because we all know that that's very prevalent in this space. And it's one of the things, unfortunately, about crypto that we all have to live with every day, is that we've all aped into projects that either got rugged, that either got dumped, that either got scammed, or what have you. And so with SquidGrow, that's just not the case. And I think that's the bigger picture. It's not just about the money, and it's not just about how much one person's going to earn, because again, to each person, that's a little bit different. Some people have a large bag, some people have a smaller bag. And you can look at as many charts as you want, or should not charts, but diagrams where it tells you, you're a whale, you're a shark, you're a minnow, you're a dolphin, whatever, whatever sea animal that you want to classify yourself as. Everybody can win. And that's the point, is that everybody can win. And I think that's why he created SquidGrow. And I think that's why it's so special for everyone.
Well, that's exactly why I created it, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll say that myself. So, sorry, I'm just making a cup of coffee. Actually, babe, can you make me coffee? I gotta focus, guys. Hang on, let me take this question. Yeah, I mean,
Never make Dane one too.
oh man, yeah. So I mean, like you just said, Huntsman, Punisher, a lot of my close friends, started going down the rabbit hole when it came to crypto. Actually, truth be told, I am the reason Huntsman and Punisher got rugged for the very first time. We all aped into a project, and Hunts and I were battling for top wallet. I've told the story a couple times, and the thing was flying, and everybody's struggling to get into it. And one morning, I think they dumped tokens on the chart is what it was, and that was my first experience of passing a project to my friends, and we all actually got rugged. But after that, it kind of intrigued Punisher and a couple of my other friends, so they started looking for other projects. They had the mentality, well, if I had pulled out before it rugged, I would have made 120 grand. And but I didn't, so I can do it again in another project. And they went down the rabbit hole of hitting up the pink sales and doing all this pre-sale stuff, and not really being familiar enough with how to do proper research. And next thing you know, all of my friends are just losing substantial money, because they get into what appears to be a sound project, but you never really know, when a project first launches, what's the true intentions of the team. And a lot of my guys started just taking big losses, and Huntsman was kind of in the background. Oh man, you should do your own thing. You can do it better. Like. And at first, I really was like, man, I don't know the first thing about running a project. This was like 2021. And, after I've heard it so many times in my personal texting group, I started looking into how to actually code. And I took a 6-week course online. It was actually a 3-month course. I took it twice. And, excuse me, not 6 months, 6 weeks. And I tried to code my first contract on the test net. And, well, I coded it, offline, and then I deployed it to the test net, and it just did not work. So I was like, okay, well, let's just kind of explore a little bit. So how do I find a dev to do this? I don't know the first thing about it. I found a highly renowned dev on Code Mentor, paid him a sizable amount to make the contract. We named it. I've given the origin story on where the name came from, and kind of put it on the back burner a little bit because I wasn't sure if it's something that I wanted to do. And then about the time my friends had me talked into doing it, there was another project that was already out, Squid Games, the token that rugged. So we put it on the back burner. And, my friends kind of went through the process again of trying to find projects to invest into, and another round of scams. Everybody's getting scammed left and right, honeypots. And I was just, one of my friends took a very large loss and swore off of crypto indefinitely. And he was one of the few people that, I hold a relationship near and dear with. And I felt bad for him. Your first time investing into something and you lose six figures, right? Looked really promising. There was a lot of hype. And, you obviously should never invest more than you can afford to lose. But he took a chance and he went big and he got rugged and he swore off of it. It actually, had a very negative side effect on him mentally. And that was one of the key pieces that fell into place of why it clicked for me. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And, at this time I was already talking to Dub. So then we started bringing it up and talking about the execution of it. So there was, a couple months of planning that kind of went into place and kind of assembling a team. And then we just pulled the trigger on it. You get all this built up anxiety leading up to actually doing it. And then you do it and you realize that actually it wasn't that bad, and then it's just hitting the ground running, knowing what it is you have to do for the project, which is obviously in the early days, it was marketing, getting awareness out, building that community. And, everything's just kind of, you know, in history at this point. But starting out, like I've said many times, SquidGrow started out to give my friends and family a safe place to invest their money so that my friends wouldn't have to worry about their money going missing. Obviously, they understand that I can't predict the market, but I can do everything that I can to make sure that their investment grows. And then, we bring the community into the equation. And then we start developing a community and a following. And now it's not only for my friends and my family, but now it's for my community. So, aside from busting my ass all the time for the community, I'm busting my ass for my friends and my family. And some of my friends, that encourage me to do it, uh, drop a project, actually didn't invest into the project immediately. They didn't invest into it much later. And obviously I didn't know that, but you finally build up the courage to actually like go into the unknown and go down this path that you've never gone down before. And you pull that band-aid off and you do it, and you start to see, obviously there is struggles, there's difficulties, you know um, trying to find the right marketing, trying to find the right people to put on the team. Anybody that heard my story earlier on Twitter, there was an early team member that took advantage of us and did some damage to the chart. Those situations you can't really predict, but you got to just roll with the punches, and you just got to be accountable to the community and be transparent and talk to them and let them know kind of what's going on in the background. But as the ball gets rolling, it gets easier and easier, and then it's just you wake up every day and you know what you got to do, and you do it. And as things come up in the process of development, you got to just adapt to that, and be ready and be on standby and have people that actually have the know-how to overcome some of these things, such as wallet connect issues with the utilities we put out, things of that nature. But all in all, it's been a blessing. Obviously I'd be lying if I said it's not been stressful. I quit dipping tobacco for some months, and the stress of launch week and the ILO, I caved, and I'm dipping tobacco again. But it is what it is. Everybody's got to have their vice, I guess. But we, I envisioned a safe place for my friends, family, and now my community to invest their money and give them a true chance to actually make that financial stability that everybody seeks in this. And that's why I'm very openly preach about pulling profits. There's nothing wrong with pulling profits at all. Nothing at all. You want to hold indefinitely, you can hold indefinitely. You want to dump your whole bag, you want to pull profit, that's your prerogative. It's your investment, your money. We've got no say over that whatsoever. You got to do what's best for you. I just ask that it's done in a respectful manner, and you think about the other people that are on this call that are invested as well, because some people got an earlier entry than others. Unfortunately, this recent situation, some people got involved in the ILO and bought in at 23 million, and now we're down. But we're only down temporarily. Like the market can always change directions, and next thing you know, like look at Christmas, we were at 5 million, and 2 weeks later we were coming up on 30 million. It can change just like that. And that's in this sediment, this market, that we're doing those types of things. Just wait till the money starts pouring back in when we're actually more established and we got a track record of actually delivering on things. Obviously we take security very seriously. There's no expenses being saved in that manner. Surtech's not cheap, but you put out quality, you put out secure products, and you grow your community in the process. You put people in key places to position you for later. For exposure. We got Wendy, we got Slum Doge, we got the Next Crypto Gym, we got Daniel Minkata. We got a powerhouse. We got Brian Evans. We got a powerhouse of people that are willing to spread the message for us. And although it might not have an immediate 10x effect right now, just wait till the market starts turning around. People are going to start hearing about us more and more and more, and then it's going to intrigue them when they start hearing where we've come from and the story and the vision of the project. It's only a matter of time. I mean, that's my personal belief. And if I did not believe that, I would not be pouring millions of dollars into this project. If I just thought we were going to go to zero.
Thanks, Sheep, for all that.
Yep.
And again, guys, if I can make one simple statement before I head to sleep, I got babies. Baby's got school tomorrow. It's been a wonderful Father's Day to all. It's been an incredible 1-year anniversary, just across the board for all of SquidGrow. Guys, listen to Sheep. Listen to his story. He's told it 1,000 times. 1,000 times. It's a story that we can all lean on, learn from, and wrap ourselves around to be part of this project, and just to get behind it. I've said 1,000 times that you can invest in tokens or you can invest in people. You can invest in tokens or you can invest in ideas. You can invest in tokens or you can invest in projects with real sustainability and real substance behind them. And that is what Sheeptoshi has brought to the table. That is what RW and Dane and really all the mods that have been part of this project since day one and are still here. William Wallace, I know he just popped up on the call. Again, Penis Parker, Slayhem, Sam, Harry, all the guys. IG McTuba, I love to pronounce that name. The team hasn't wavered, guys. They're all still here. And that's, again, part of the signs that I always say. Look around you. The signs are there that this project is going to be here for a long, long time, and that it's something special to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you'll make some money, and that's great. I mean, if that was your only purpose, and I think we all love making money. I mean, that's purpose number one, right? But again, if you want to be part of something special and you want to be part of something that changes the landscape of crypto and that is really going to be here for the next cycle and the next cycle after that, then that's what you found with SquidGrow. And so again, happy 1-year anniversary. Dane, I love you. I'm going to step off now. Sheeptoshi, I love you, man. Always good. Everybody on the call, just good to see so many people. It's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we have in year 2. Good night, guys.
Hey, take it easy, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, what up, Ezra? Love your work you did in the world tour, man. Very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Thank you, Sule. Awesome work as well. And you guys are gonna make it so difficult to choose winners. it's going to be a hell of a task, but kudos to everyone that participated. I've seen some incredible entries there. So yeah, we've definitely got our work cut out for us finding a top 3. I feel like there should be like a top 50 because there's so many great ones.
Yeah, I got one more entry. Me and my wife is working on it right now. But so I'm gonna head out and finish this up. Love everyone. Let's fucking grow. See you guys tomorrow. Later, Satoshi. Later, Dane.
Hey, take it
Whole
easy,
team.
buddy. Thank you for popping in here and giving us your time.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Hey, Shib, I had a question. On the new farm, the LP tokens, they don't show the dollar value like the previous farm did. Is that something that you guys have planned in the future?
Yeah, I actually thought we pushed a change through for that. Has it not been pushed yet?
I'm not seeing it yet, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, okay. I will I'll nudge the dev about that. Dane, will you actually drop something in chat with that? I'm dealing with the other gentleman that was trying to track down his tokens.
Yes, no problem.
So just a recap, in the LP staking, it's not currently showing dollar value.
I think Calamari is aware of that one, Ship. He's been saying he's gonna roll out an update, but yeah, I'll ping him again about that just to make sure.
Okay. Solid.
Shib, that was me. I was able to find the tokens and withdraw them, so it's all set. I appreciate everything.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I was waiting on you to get back to me. I was monitoring the contract. It did appear that you were able to get them. So I'm glad that the directions were clear enough to where you could actually do that. So happy to hear that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate everything, guys. You guys are great. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to seeing where this all goes.
Perfect, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
Oh, this coffee tastes so good. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I went to 3 cups. I was on my third cup during that spaces, and I don't even know what I said. I was so amped up. It just sort of out. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I had a couple cups this morning, and then my parents came over. We did some dinner and stuff, and showed off my my albino mount. I have not hung it yet though, but
Oh yeah, I
just
saw
hung
that.
out, and then jumped on the call with you guys just to kind of touch base. And next thing we know, we're in the space. I didn't want to take any time, knowing my luck, somebody'd ask me a question while I have a mouthful of coffee, and I'd be struggling with trying to respond. So
It's like that. I saw that Patrick Bet David interview they did recently with Tate after he came out of prison, and they asked him like, "How do you do it, man? How do you stay at such a high output?" He's like, "I drink 10 cups of coffee a day. 10 cups of coffee and a couple cigars. That's how I have my breakfast. I have a cup of coffee and a cigar for breakfast." There is some madness to that. He went on a little tangent and said that when he was in prison, he didn't have any caffeine for 3 months, and he noticed no improvement in his life. He said nothing was better. Everything sucked more. I went right back on it. And negative side effects. It's so accurate. The nicotine and caffeine can definitely be like enhancers to being productive if you use them the right way. I'm sure there's some negative side effects in there, but when it comes to production, man, I mean, there's much worse things. Like it could be drinking beers, and that's not going to be good. But with caffeine and nicotine, they certainly have their place. I can see why so many people choose one or more.
I just quit the coffee and I feel great because before that I have to wake up, drink a couple of coffee, and then go. But then I was like, oh, that's too much, and I feel kind of better, so that I can actually generate my own energy without being caffeinated so much.
Oh yeah, I've been through both. I think it just depends where you're at. I find myself able to write articles and posts so much more efficiently when I have caffeine flowing through me. But at the same time, if you get too crazy with it, like too much of it, it starts to lose its effect. So I like to try to take like days off in between, like days where I know I can be a little less, a little lazier and stuff. I'll make it a point not to start my day off with coffee, so that when I do have it, it's that much more effective. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's for sure. My thing is like I remember my back days when I was like 2018. I was like so much energy. But then when you grow up, you're like, come on, where's that energy? It's like it's gone. And then you drink coffee and you feel that it's gonna come and it's coming, but then it dies off. And it's like, okay, maybe I can, quit it and figure out on my own. And that's kind of working. I'm getting back the energy. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I did it no caffeine for about a decade, and I was just fine. There's benefits in health too, and without. I think it's different for different people. And one of the interesting things about caffeine is they say that there's like a gene that people have or don't have that basically makes it to where you metabolize it quickly or metabolize it slowly. For some people, they can handle a whole kettle a day, and be just fine. And other people, if they do that, it can actually cause like health issues, like heart stuff and things like that over
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
that's
find
for
what works.
sure.
yeah, I got.
Chip, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna circle back to the coffee thing.
No, I just didn't congratulate you on the first university school, university. Is that correct word?
Anniversary. Yeah.
Not university, but you got it. For SquidGrow, I know it takes a lot of mental work. I'm not even mentioning financial. So yeah, because I run my own business and I know how tough it is. So kudos for you. It takes a lot of mental capabilities to really what I'm trying to say is put that visionary energy and pass it to the team. So great work. Yeah, I hope you're happy with the results, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna be much happy when we're gonna moon. So yeah.
Agreed. Thank you for the kind words. And obviously we're continuously growing. In a lot of different ways. Whether it's community holders, team. We're always evolving, always adapting to what's going on in the market. So, I'm completely satisfied with everything that we've done thus far. The only takeaway out of anything that we've done this past year is there are some exchanges that I wish I would not have listed. I won't publicly say which ones, but they've been a giant pain in my butt. So, uh, but aside from that, I mean, there's obviously, with the exception of the former team member incident we had like a couple weeks in, and then the lottery contract, it's been pretty straightforward, and I'm happy with the results thus far. I'm just looking forward to the future and what we currently have in development, and excited to share some news with you guys.
Nice, that's for sure. I guess the main point is how you're gonna resolve the problem that you have, and that what sort of outcome you're looking for. And I think it's the main thing, and just yeah, it ups and downs, and you learn from whatever. If that's the business,
As long as
yeah,
you're learning, as long as you're
yep.
learning,
Learning and
that
adapting is
yep,
is the key, and
yep.
especially running the team, really having the same spirit as you have, and as I said, pass it to the team takes a lot of work, and I see that you're pretty doing it very well. I've listened to many of your AMAs. Yeah, that's the word for the Twitter, and
Yeah,
AMA, yeah,
AMAs,
yeah,
AMA,
AMAs, and that what you're the topic that you're the not even topic the topics that you touched in terms of the technicality of the project, liquidity things, I've haven't heard from many people, and that's one of the reason why I pulled the trigger like 8 months ago, and I remember I texted you, and yeah. So
yeah.
again, I don't wanna just beat the horse and saying the same thing, man. Kudos. It's I'm fairly happy that I'm here, so I try to be here more often. I've been for the ride for a long time, so let's go.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. Hopefully, we can get it to where you're extremely happy with being here, not just fairly happy.
Well,
We'll
to be
work
honest,
at it. We'll work at it.
to be honest, for me, it's not a financial gain. It's more like what the people can actually do and what you can learn from the team. So yeah, if financially will be well, that would be great. But that's not the main reason, and I guess that's just me. But yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Let's grow, man. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it, and thank you for being on this journey with us.
Anybody else gonna speak up, or just gonna three of us?
It's your space now, Slava. It's a Slava show. Thanks for speaking up,
Oh
man. It's a pleasure.
yeah, I remember we had so much conversations before, but then I cut back, with the work and stuff. We're expanding the products and this and that, so it's just a lot of work. But now I can kind of relax and just chill and speak to people and same minded. So it's kind of I'm taking it easy because I run my business for about 3 years right now, and it's exactly the same work every day. So you get burned out. So it's nice to kind of relax, take it easy, analyze and figure out and just speak to people and just yeah. I think I guess vacation is needed sometimes and relaxing is needed. So yeah.
Said. What's up, Solly?
Yes, how are you? How are you?
Doing very well. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, doing good. I'm so happy. Yes, we remember here. Yes, I'm very nice. Yeah. This morning, South Africa, very
Hey,
tired.
Sully, I'm having a really hard time understanding you. There's a lot of feedback on the mic.
I just hear an echo, Solly. If you could maybe, if you're
Yeah.
on something, it might be the room that you're in.
Okay. No. I'm saying I'm doing well here. I'm preparing my little boy this morning, listening to SquidGrow community. It's lovely. It's great. I feel great, man. The great community.
I'm still having a hard time. I am catching words here and there.
I heard
I'm
you,
sorry.
Sully. I
I'm
think,
sorry about that.
yeah, we're happy to have you here, man. I remember before you told me you're down in South Africa, right?
Yeah, yeah. South Africa.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think it's so cool, man, just to hear from all you guys. And although we can't hear you that well right now on your mic where you are, I think you said some nice things about us there, and we appreciate it, man. I'm happy to have you here as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, I'll keep on listening. I'm just preparing my little boy to school this morning. And another thing, he's got a squeeze grow bag, you know.
Yeah.
I just bought him a squeeze grow bag for his birthday, you know. He's got some phrases. It's a birthday.
Right on, man. Thanks, Solly, man. I hope you're having a great day, brother. It's hard for us to hear you, man. So we'll leave it at that. But thanks for hanging out, man. And
All
feel
right.
free to chime in anytime. But just I think the mic check is needed. We got Slam in the house. We got Sule still. Macumbo, what's up, man? Macumbo, longtime friend in the house, way back in my Catcoin days. What's up, brother?
Yeah, brother. How are you? I was very, very busy with work, so yeah, that's why I'm not more often in Telegram.
Not a problem, man. Life comes first, you know. Crypto is its own world, and life moves on with or without it. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, though, man. The busy day. Yeah, Shib, I think today's AMA, man, that had to be one of the best that I've seen from you. You fielded all their questions really, really well, man, and I think they had some really kick-ass questions come up. Um, the guys that were in his audience were clearly very knowledgeable as far as what they were hearing, and I think they were very receptive to your responses, but also they were asking the right things, so it went really, really good, man.
I agree.
That there with the Dodge? Is that the one you're referring to?
The spaces,
Yeah.
yeah, Barovic and Proto
Oh
Doge.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta listen to that too soon.
Oh yeah, it was great. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. That was a very high profile space. As we mentioned before, Borovic.eth is one of the guys in the ETH inner circles and alphas that really has a lot of people's ears, a lot of whale ears. So just getting to know them, Proto Doge better publicly on the mic. That's awesome step for us in the right direction. And I think the community really turned out today, and you could see that in the audience and the support. Just the constant emojis I saw flashing up, just little things like that. You'd be surprised. They go a long way when there's a vibe like that and the community to back it up. People that are new to us and haven't seen us before will definitely take notice of that. I think we got a couple that actually joined after that as a result. So great job, everyone.
Hey guys, I have a question. You might have touched on this before. What was the reason all the APRs were cut in half on the BSC side?
So we've run extremely high APRs for the better half of a year, and we've been saying for months that we will scale those down to be, self-sustaining. And so we utilize the staking contract migration to cut those in half. High APRs with no locking periods are not sustainable long term.
No, I appreciate it. I just wasn't, I have no issue with it. I just, I obviously noticed that one cut was cut in half, and I didn't really know the reason why.
Yeah, so originally, when we debuted these new contracts, I said after the first 30 days, I was going to start cutting the APRs down, but I left them at around 20% APR for 6 months plus. I never started scaling them down. I just, would say that, at some point we are going to start scaling them down. I filled that contract with quite a bit of tokens, so I was waiting for those tokens to run its course and to be distributed out before we started cutting it down. And then with the token contract and the new funding of that contract, we decided to start scaling down. It's all about sustainability long term, especially when we have 50+% of supply in our staking contracts. If we ran, obviously 100% APR for a year, we'd be giving out 50% of our supply. And for sustainability, we just can't do that. We need tokens for listings and staking contracts and so on and so forth. So trying to scale it down to a more manageable, sustainable number. So that's half of the reason why we added some taxes. Previously it was just an in tax, and now we have taxes in, out, and harvest that goes back into the staking contract to try to help with sustainability. But that's the reasoning why sustainable. We're trying to keep it sustainable, because if we get to a point where we are getting low on tokens, obviously the staking contracts are going to cease to exist. So I would rather, as I've said many times, instead of cutting down that fruit tree, I'd rather pluck from it as need be, and it can feed many people instead of just feeding a few for a couple months and then it disappears. So it's all about sustainability.
Now, do you have
Yeah.
an idea as to what you think a sustainable APR is?
Well, we truly won't. Well, I can tell you what is said to be sustainable, and what they say is sustainable is between 5 to 10%. We won't know what sustainable for us will be until the first month runs its course, and we can gauge how many tokens have been generated with the taxes, and then we can gauge, true sustainability. For example, is if we generate 10 trillion tokens over a period of a month, then we can only, to be sustainable, give out 10 trillion tokens every month to maintain sustainability. So we really, at this point, don't know what our contract's sustainability for us is until, the first 30 days will give us an idea. But that's probably going to be skewed even so, because our BSC contracts ran a whitelist to interact with the new contracts. So we are going to kind of be gauging on the Ethereum contracts, because there's all the taxes in place. There is no whitelist. So after the first 30 days, we will have a better idea. But as I said previously, you can probably plan for the APRs to come back down to where they were before we just boosted them, somewhere around in there. Might scale them up a little bit, and then obviously it's variable, so it will come back down. But even with the APRs we offered on BSC with no locking periods, it's still substantially higher than anybody else in the space, as far as I'm aware of.
No, perfect. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Sid. I think staking can be a double-edged sword if you're too overkill with it, because you have to remember you're putting tokens in people's pockets, which eventually they want to take as profits. So you can't do too crazy with it. It would be like, the great thing about staking is that it offers you control over what you put out, whereas something like what SafeMoon did with Reflections is not controllable, and you've got people just consistently eating up supply in proportion to the volume of the chart, which can be very toxic, and whales start accumulating everything and then ruin you, which is part of the reason why they no longer are a thing. But with staking, it's more controllable, but and it's an awesome thing to be able to basically auto DCA into the chart over time. But you've got to be conscientious of where you are, because you can't be over allocating tokens that you don't have and become insolvent. And at the same time, you want the tokens to be attractive that are in there, so that it's, people want to come and stake, and it makes sense to do so. So right now, it definitely makes sense to do so with 100% on BSC and ETH. But realistically, holding those on for more than a month is not sustainable. So dropping them down to more into that 8 to 12, 5 to 10 region is probably where we'll go over time. Not all at once necessarily, but over time. And Shibtoshi and our data analytics, our crypto bro, guy will be able to gauge where that's at and really make it something that is sustainable over time if we play that game the right way.
Yeah, so I mean, it's we've got a set amount of tokens that we have set aside for staking, so we got to make those last as long as possible because if we just blow through those, then the staking contracts disappear. So we ran high APRs for the better half of a year on BSC, and as a result of that, we saw continuous and constant sell pressure on the charts because of our high APRs and no locking period. So if everybody's wondering, why the chart's always going up and down, anytime we have a run up, people, pull their profits out, and majority of it, not majority of it, but a fair bit of it has been constant rewards on the chart, and that's fine. But it's just adding to the equation of the balance of trying to move upwards in this market. Obviously rewarding out in something like stable coins or BNB or Ethereum would be a much better option because you could potentially turn that into buy pressure, but our contracts aren't set up for that. And, for long-term sustainability with the amount of money that we are giving out, it doesn't make much sense from a project's perspective to come 600 grand out of pocket to reward out every month.
Exactly.
Dane, I asked that question before. He probably gonna kill me. Is the bridge still congested? Because I still cannot bridge over to ETH.
No, the bridge is no longer congested. As we said in our announcement that we were only allocating 100 trillion tokens to the Ethereum bridge on the Ethereum side, which was at the time about $1.8 million. So there are no more tokens coming from the project into the bridge. So the only way that you will be able to bridge from BSC to Ethereum is when people start bridging from Ethereum back to BSC. And then those tokens get deposited into the bridge. Right now, we've got 100 trillion tokens plus on the BSC side. So, essentially, if 100 trillion tokens decide to come back across from ETH to the BSC, then 100 trillion more tokens would be able to move to the opposing chain. But as of right now, it's one way, and that goes back to the amount of tokens that we have. We can only allocate. I cannot allow 100% of supply to cross. We would have no tokens for exchange listings or for staking
That makes
contracts.
sense. For sure. Yeah. Okay. I guess
So
just
it's a balancing act. But it's my understanding right now the bridge is one way. So if anybody wants to bridge from Ethereum to BSC, they can do so. And then when that starts to happening, then people from BSC can move over to the Ethereum chain.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think things will balance out fairly quickly, personally. Also, we not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but and over time we will add ETH to exchanges, and that essentially acts as its own bridge in a way too. So it won't just be an individual bridge, but also people will be able to, if they want to, deposit onto exchange and withdraw that way. So there'll be more than one way to do it.
Yeah,
but the bridge is
agreed.
going to be the first way, and so
Yeah,
that will.
when we have BSC and ETH listed on an exchange, you can essentially transfer your BSC tokens to the exchange and then withdraw the Ethereum tokens. So it's essentially a bridge as well.
Yeah, but the tax is there, so obviously the bridge is more attractive.
Yeah, agreed.
So that over time we're going to be fine. I mean, look. Last week, Arn and I were sitting in here talking about the FUD of Binance. I made a big long post on Twitter about it. My feelings on the fact that it was just FUD and to bet against Binance in general is just silly. And look, a week later, then sentiments changed. Everybody's laughing, being like, "Oh, look, the SEC settled, agreed to unfreeze the assets." Now, by any means, we're not out of the woods when it comes to Binance and the saga ahead legally in the U.S., but it was an entire overnight change in sentiment that kind of just did a little mini reversal as far as where Bitcoin was heading and where BNB was heading. So that was great to see, and it just goes to show that FUD is not forever, whether it's FTX or against Binance or against Tether or whatever. It comes and goes, and we're going to continue to stand by BSC. And I think very quickly the BSC side will rise up and get strong again, and While everyone lately has tried to come to ETH because of all that 0 meme token crap craze that we just experienced, that's dying down a bit, and I think going forward, BSC will have its time in the sun again. Binance will come back with flying colors, as I believe XRP and Coinbase and others will too. And we're going to be happy that we've kept BSC at that point, because not only will it add stability to the higher floors as we create them, but it will provide a healthy alternative to people that can't afford to buy on ETH because the gas prices go up too much to come over and activate BSC. You can actually stake and buy BSC without digging into giant gas fees. But if you tried to buy ETH projects in 2021, you might not have been able to afford it. You might have had no choice but to go buy it on a sketchy centralized exchange or something like that. So, yeah, it's important for us to have two options, and we're going to continue to support BSC. And I think over time, very quickly, that bridge should even itself out, and things should balance out a bit more than they are now.
Yeah.
We do have 100% APR right now on BSC, in case you missed that. So that's all the way till July 4th. Both staking pools are now fat and healthy.
Yeah, I haven't even staked for whatever 8 months that I am in.
Why? Why not?
I don't
Holy
know.
cow! I just had a conversation with one of my friends today that told me I've got two friends and both have about the same bag size, and they were talking about everything that they've earned thus far in the staking contracts. And one of my other friends was like, "Oh, well, I've never staked," and I'm just like, "Why? Why wouldn't you stake? There's no locking periods. Like, why?"
There's no. I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
don't
to be
have.
honest, his reasoning was, he got screwed over in another project essentially, so he is more comfortable having his investment just sit in his wallet. So I can't argue with that. You know what I mean? I can't.
Makes sense. Well, from my point, I do believe in a team. So as I said before, for me, it's not a financial gain. It's there. I'm okay. So maybe I will probably stake it on the ETH side. There's more
Well, I mean,
liquidity.
it's completely the liquidity. What's our liquidity ratios right now? I think ETH being a higher market cap, it's probably got a slightly bigger liquidity pool, but our APRs are the same currently. They are around 100% APR, which was launching ETH. That was the attraction to Ethereum, right? We're offering these high APRs, but for our 1 year anniversary, wanted to do something to and because I understand not everybody was able to bridge over to ETH because of the set amount of tokens. So we decided that we were going to up the APR for the duration of time that ETH is now having its 100% APR. But to each is their own. If you want to stake, you stake. If you don't, I mean, that's completely up to you.
That's for sure.
With people who just want to keep their coins in their wallet, I mean, I guess I can understand that, but like, I look at it this way, and I'm not saying you guys are gonna rug, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying a project that was gonna rug, they're gonna rug whether you hold your coins in your wallet or whether you have them in a staking contract. So it's like, if people are worried about things like that, it's kind of nonsense in my eyes. It's almost like, why not take the free money while it's there? If you believe in the team and you believe in the project, keep the money in there and make money while you're having it sit there, because that's what we're all doing. We're just holding this.
Yeah, I know a lot of investors. So I spoke a little earlier about the sell pressure from the charts, right? From the staking contracts. It happens. It is what it is. In that same breath, I know community members that have been buying positions since we launched, but what they're doing is they sell their rewards, to pay their bills. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's if you're not ready to sell your bag position, you can live off of the staking rewards. But I guess for some, maybe it's a comfort thing. Like my friend, I don't understand why he wouldn't jump into the staking contracts, but he just said, I like to open up my wallet balance, my wallet, and see the balance. I don't want to have to connect to, the D app to see my balance. And I understand that. It's a comfort thing. So, no harm. But, I'll be honest with you. I almost jumped into the Terra Luna for their 19% APR. And I'm so glad I didn't, because a lot of my friends, I stake stables on the exchanges. A lot of my friends are like, oh, 19% APR. And I'm like, damn, that's super attractive. And I almost pulled the trigger on it. I'm so glad I didn't. But you know, it's, some people prefer to stake, other people don't. We try to do things a little differently. We try to offer an incentivizing APR with no locking periods. I mean, there's a lot of projects that will offer 10% APR, but they're going to lock your tokens for 3 years. I mean, that's a thing. Or there's even a token out there that has a 6% APR and you lock it for 2 years. Like, to find an unlocked staking contract with higher APRs, it is hard to find. I'm not saying it can't be done, but we don't have any locking periods here. So you can deposit, withdraw, do whatever you want to do. There's no locking periods. From a project's perspective, it would be smarter of me to say, you know what? I'm going to give you a 30% APR, but you've got to lock it for 2 years. That would be smart, right? Because now if we get 50% of tokens in the staking contract, we know at least 50% of the supply is not going to be sold for 2 years. So then we can absolutely pump to the sky. But
Yeah,
I
I've seen
feel,
those. I've seen those.
yeah, exactly. But at the same time, what if, we'll use you for an example. You know what? Okay, Shibtoshi's offering this high APR, it's locked for 2 years, and you decide to jump into the staking contract, and then all of a sudden, you need, life happens, and you need money, and you've got, you've used what you had in your bank accounts, and you need more money. You've got all this money in this crypto staking pool, but you can't access it for 2 years, right? And what if it's a life-threatening situation where you have to have money to pay for medical or something like that? Who am I to essentially slap your hand and say, nope, come back in 2 years? I don't think it's fair. Now, locking periods play its role. Projects have that in place, and from a project standpoint, it does make sense. But my mindset is I don't like staking locks personally. I'm not saying I haven't done them. I've got tokens locked up right now that I can't touch. So, I've done them. I'm not saying I don't like it. I mean, I'm not saying that I completely frown upon it. I understand it from the project standpoint. But are there times that I wish my tokens weren't locked up? Yeah, absolutely. You know, but it is what it is. I think, offering the APRs that we are, I think it has been generous in my opinion, and the fact that there is no locking periods. Um, you're going to be hard pressed to find that in another project that can actually sustain that. When we rolled out our high APRs in the beginning, people were fudding on us, saying, "Oh, this isn't sustainable. It's a rug, this, that, and the other. No project can sustain that amount." Well, I'm Shibtoshi, and if I want to give my community high APRs for the duration of a year, I'm going to do that. So the thing about it is, though, we do have to be mindful of the certain amount of tokens that we have. We're not a mintable token. The supply is the supply. So just moving forward, we have to be mindful of that.
Now, Shib, you touched upon that, the friend of yours that he likes to see all his tokens in his wallet. I have a few tokens that I invest in where they have their D app where I'm staking it in the D app, but the tokens show in my wallet.
I was involved in a project that did the same thing. And I'll touch on that project. It was Reflex Finance. I was a whale in Reflex. I was really close to the team, and they rolled that out. The problem with that is it essentially blacklists your wallet address. So essentially, it gives you credit in the staking. It gives you credit in the staking contract, and you earn rewards. But it essentially blacklists your alt wallet address. You cannot move those tokens at all. And first of all, our contract's not set up to interact like that. So there's not really a way to register it in our contracts to essentially do staking in that manner. So I mean, we're not set up for that. I mean, I don't think I'd roll out new contracts just to do that. But I'm aware of the technology. Was an investor in a couple projects that did actually do that, and I thought it was cool. I did not like the idea that my wallet being blacklisted though, because then what if I decide to withdraw and there's some kind of issue with the contract and my wallet remains blacklisted, and then I try to transfer or I try to sell and I lose my tokens. It makes me a little bit uneasy when somebody mentions the word your wallet's going to be blacklisted.
I hear you.
So, I mean, but I'll tell you this. I'll talk to Calamari about it. I don't think there's anything that can be done with our particular contracts, and I would not migrate them just to do this. But maybe there's a workaround. But I am aware of that type of smart contract. I'm not sure how we could do that, but that would be obviously. I think it has something to do with the IOU tokens. Essentially, you interact in the contract, mints IOU tokens and deposits those, and they're essentially a placeholder in the contract that earns value. I'm not completely familiar with it, but I remember it being explained to me. I think that's how it worked, but
Yeah, I remember with Reflex because I invested in Reflex also, but there's another token, Cryptolic, where Kevin Reamer is the developer, and he does the same thing with his. But I didn't really know the technical aspect of it. I just
yeah.
knew that I thought it was kind of cool that it showed up in your wallet, especially for people who
I
want to see
agree.
them.
I agree with that. When I know the team personally, and when they explained to me what they were rolling out, I thought it was really cool because up until that point, you interact with the contract, you stake it, your tokens disappear. So you're telling me I can maintain my value in my wallet and continue to see it. I mean, that's cool, but I did not like, the blacklisting aspect of it. But I mean, it worked out for the time being. I was a day one investor in that project myself, but I mean, there's all kinds of cool things. I don't know how this other project you're talking about does it. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a couple different avenues, but I'll talk to Calamari about it and see if there's something that can be done like that. But unfortunately, in our situation, there's a withdrawal tax in our contract. So for everybody to recall their tokens, it would cost them 2%.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then the other aspect of that is we can't tax somebody's token if they're not leaving their wallet. So then the self-sustaining aspect of the staking contracts kind of goes out the window.
Chip, and that 2% goes out of your dollar value, right?
It goes off of your token count. So you lose 2% of your token count.
Okay.
So I mean, it does reflect into dollars. Obviously, if you lose 2% of your tokens, it will drop your token value.
Yeah, for me, I guess it's just a procrastination, just lazy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'll be honest. I got my sister to stake her tokens today. So and that's another person. I actually brought it up because my friends were talking about it, and my sister was over here with the family, and I was like, "Oh, you're staking your tokens, right?" So then I had to explain to her about the 2% and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, your boyfriend's supposed to be explaining this stuff to you. Like, I don't understand, like, why he is in the staking contract, but you're not. But we got it figured.
She goes like 2%. Nah, I'm not giving my 2%.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But good conversations. Good conversations. Dane, we got anything? What else we got?
That's the first moment of silence in the last, I don't know, 3 hours. Yeah, we've got a lot, man. I think we've touched on tons of things. I'm just happy. I'm just excited and happy to hear from different members of the community. I enjoy listening to you all come up and talk. Anyone who wants to speak up, man, open mic, feel free.
Guess it takes a bit of a courage to speak up and open up. At least I remember myself when I started. It's like awkward. You
Oh,
something to say that.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Getting on the mic for the first time on the first Twitter space that I did for the project. Talk about nerve wracking. I am not a shy person, but definitely a little nerve wracking. You know, like definitely like Dane said. I've perfected my public speaking skills over the course of the year. I'm a little more comfortable now than I was previously. Um, so at this point, it's the same thing over and over again with a small variation from time to time. The problem is, especially I don't know if anybody's noticed or not, but today's space on Twitter is kind of like the first time I have talked about the Shibtoshi origin story in a long time. Not because for any particular reason, but I like to think that at least most of the time when I'm on a space, most of the people have heard about the story or you know uh, trying to tell the same story over and over without sounding like a broken record. It's kind of hard to do. You know.
I got a question on the origin story. Maybe, I'm sure
Okay.
you've answered this a million times too.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, we all know, the whole story of, yeah, how you invested in it, it blew up. Now, have you ever touched on the fact of like when this thing blew up to the amount of money that it came to? I mean, I don't know what your background is or, what your income level was before, but I assume you were, a normal guy. You know what I mean? You didn't have
I'm
a ton of money.
I made my
This
first
thing blows.
I made my first million at 23 and lost it the next day. I
Right.
was
I mean,
I was a poker player.
right, but
So
going to 4 point, 4 point
yeah,
whatever billion
yeah,
dollars, I mean, that's a whole different like realm of like,
100%.
I mean, what were you going through? I can't even imagine seeing that and going, holy shit, what the fuck am I doing? What's going on
So
here?
obviously, so the wallet was on my old 11 Pro phone. That was the latest and greatest at the time. I did upgrade to the 12 Pro. I didn't migrate my I'll call it my DGen wallet, kind of my shit investment wallets, to the new phone. I just kind of tucked it. I was active in the community and it was pretty standstill, a lot of diehard believers. And then, my friends started talking about it again. There started being movement on the chart. And then I started paying attention to it. And after the first run up, it literally happened like so quick. I went and fired up the wallet, the phone, and I thought it was a CMC glitch. I'm not sure if anybody's ever experienced that before, but from time to time on certain projects, CMC will have a glitch and it will show you like a stupid number for dollar value, right?
I
Like,
was a trillionaire.
yeah, exactly. So I fired it up for the first time and I looked and I was like, what the well, normally when there's a glitch like that, like it's a stupid number, right? It's just some stupid, gazillionaire, right? Normally it's like stupid numbers. Well, the first time I looked at it and it was in the millions, I was like, okay, this has got to be a glitch. There's no way. And then you check the chart and you're like, holy shit. And then you go and you check the price that's being reported and you're like, holy crap. Like, what are the shells looking like? And then I go check my friends' wallets, because we all have each other's wallets, and I see everybody's bag values up, and then everybody's talking about it. Then we got friends talking about pulling out hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're like, okay, well, let us know if you can actually do it. And then, after you have some people close to you that actually pull like stupid money out of the project, you realize it's real. But it turns into, yeah, well, no, I wouldn't have been able to get $5 billion out. It just wouldn't have happened. But you start thinking about, well, if I pull this out, will it hurt the project too bad? And then you start looking at the liquidity to market cap ratios, then you start looking at the exchanges, and you're looking at total numbers, and then you assess the damage that you're going to do to the project. That goes back to cutting down the fruit tree, right? why chop it down for myself and just gorge myself when so many other people can eat from it, you know? And at the end of the day, when I invested into it, I did it for bragging purposes. I didn't do it because I had any inside information. I thought it was going to be some incredible project. I just did it for the sole purpose that I had to hold more than my friends, and that's all it came down to. And then you start thinking about it, and you're like, holy shit, like $8,000. It was a little over $8,000 turned into a billion, 3 billion, 5 billion. Is this real? But you start thinking about it, and you're like, okay, well, well, how much tax am I going to have to pay on this money? You know, oh my God, like my life has just changed overnight. And then you start thinking about you know, well, I like to think about the other people. And then you start thinking about, okay, well, I could single-handedly essentially rug, because after SHIB did their burn, I own 20% of supply after the burn. You know, that's a dangerous amount to hold. And you know, you start thinking about the smaller people, and you know, maybe at some point, you know, I can get something out of it, you know, without hurting the chart, but their liquidity is still pretty bad. Just on the deck, SHIB's liquidity is a little over $2 million, to put it into perspective. It's not very big at all. You know, they have much bigger liquidity pools on crypto.com and Binance, but you know, I live just fine. You know, I've got other investments that I hold, you know, big positions in, and I can pull profits on those projects without hurting the chart relatively at all. So
Yeah, I think we all just look at it like, none of us have been to the point where we had $5 billion staring us in the face, where whether it's real or not, you look at it and you're like, holy shit, like this isn't real, you know?
I mean,
And
there was an awful lot of screenshots shared
yeah,
around that time, you know, but it's like monopoly money. I mean, I've said that a couple times. You know, not just in not for SHIB, but crypto in general. I refer to my crypto holdings as monopoly money. I don't really view it as true assets until I get the fiat into my bank account,
right.
and then it's real, because then I can spend it. Unless it's like things like Ethereum, stable coins, or Bitcoin, which you can actually purchase cars with, or you know, things of that nature. Um, you know, but you know, it is kind of mind numbing, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I've not gone into great detail of my mindset, you know, at that time, but it didn't seem real. It seemed like there was some kind of glitch or some kind of something going on, and then you realize, holy shit, so and so just got $1 million out. Like, oh my God, like, you know, and everybody's talking about it, and next thing you know, you open up your social media, and it's everywhere. Shit's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. You got Elon responding to tweets about it. Like, it's crazy, but it's very mind numbing, you know.
Yeah,
And then
those glitches are funny, and I know with Evergrow, we all saw that with Evergrow, and
I had
my
a
daughter,
friend. I love Evergrow. Big supporter of Evergrow. I had a friend with the Evergrow glitch dump his whole bag because he thought he was a multimillionaire, and then called me freaking out. Dude, I just got robbed. I lost all my money. Like, what are you talking about? So I explained the situation to me, and I said, oh my God, dude. So he sold, price continued to pump, and he lost his position.
well, I looked at mine in the morning. It was like maybe 7:30. I was up. I was laying in bed, and I think it was like a Saturday or Sunday, and I looked at it, and my bag showed accurate as to what I owned.
Mhm.
And so I put my phone down. Then maybe about 15 minutes later, I have a 17-year-old daughter, and she comes in and she looked like she had seen, more money. And she's like, Dad, I don't know what's going on. I have a number. I can't even read. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking
Because that's
about?
the
So
only
then,
number you want to see.
yeah, it was like, I think it was like $40 trillion she owned. And I'm like, that's just not real. I'm like, hold on a second. So I looked at my wallet, and then I guess from the time I looked at it the first time to the time I looked at it the second time, it went from like, you know, thousands of dollars to trillions. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So, I told her, I says, before you sell anything, I says, look over at CoinMarketCap. I says, look over at CoinGecko, go to a bunch of different sources and like see if they're all the same. If they are, then we could do a little more research to find out if this is real. I said, but it just doesn't seem real. Like you said, it's mind numbing where you can't fathom that. How could a couple $1,000 go into that, you know?
Yep.
But it was just
Yeah.
funny to see her expression. She was just like,
I don't understand the reason behind the glitches. There's been a couple projects that I've been involved with that did that, and you know, the first time it's kind of crazy, you know, and relating that to the my SHIB holdings, like that's exactly what I thought. You know, when I went and fired up my phone, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I thought it was a glitch, and you know, I didn't pay much attention to it because I just thought it was a glitch. And then I jump in my chat, and everybody's talking about it. And then you start jumping on the social medias, everybody's talking about SHIB. You jump in the chat, everybody's talking about SHIB, and everybody's talking about their values going up. And then you realize, holy shit, like it's real. So you know, you know, I hope that everybody experiences that at some point in time. They wake up and they think there's a CMC glitch on their phone, but in all actuality, shit just soared. You know, it's a mind-numbing, you know, situation. I just hope that the project that you find yourself in, whether it's my own or somebody else's, there's ample liquidity for you to actually pull out, because that
I
is
think we're
a shitty situation where you have all this money and you can't do anything with it, you know, and because then you factor in price impact as well. So even, you know, in a project where there is ample liquidity, you know, if you do a large sell, you have price impact. Example, we had a whale in our project that gave me a heart attack, by the way, because we just locked in a deal to list 5 or 6 exchanges, just jumped off a call, just moved some Bitcoin around to finish paying the exchanges, and the team calls me back immediately. Look at the chart, and we'll talk about SquidGrow. So I looked at the chart, and it looked like there was a red candle sitting on the ground. It looked like we got rugged. It was how I had the screen zoomed in that made it appear that way. So when I zoomed out, I realized obviously it wasn't on the ground. But we went from 37 million down to 12 million market cap. We had a whale that dumped $480,000, and he was in the whale. He announced that he was in sell. He had a disagreement with another whale, and in a tantrum, decided to dump. And he talking to him in DMs, you know, after the fact, you know, I asked him just out of curiosity, what was your price impact? And they weren't familiar with price impact. I said, okay, how much money did you actually get? So out of the $480,000, he got in the 270s, I think, something like that. We had just had our sufficient run up to 52 million, and then we were coming back down, and we were around 37 million. We fell to 12. We announced that we were listing 5 exchanges, and within about 30 minutes, we pumped back up to 32 million. But that goes back to liquidity to market cap ratio. The thicker the liquidity is, the less price impact you're going to have. So the more that money you actually get out. I couldn't tell you the ratio at the point that that whale exited, but I think we were probably around 3%, something like that. Maybe a little less. I dropped on our run up to 52 million. I dropped our tax down to 1%, and it really tore up our market cap to liquidity ratio because we started going up very fast. I think we went from like 7% down to 2.5% in a matter of weeks. And you know, then obviously we started coming down from 52 million. We were probably in the 3% range, and then the whale exited. But it was actually a godsend because at that particular time, I believe we had 12% tax in place. So he lost 12% of that, and it went to our liquidity, and it bulked us up pretty substantially.
I
Now, when
guess.
these,
I guess. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to comment. Just funny. I guess slippage on its finest. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, to be honest, a lot of people don't understand the slippage. They think, oh, I see $400,000 in my account and I'm gonna pull it out. They don't understand the liquidity. That's
Yeah.
the very important topic to actually to touch on. And I'm great that actually SHIB is speaking about it. because the more you understand the liquidity, the more you understand the market cap, the more you'll be able to understand how much you can pull it out. And the other things I want to emphasize on is when Shib mentioned that actually pulling out some profit out of the crypto is actually healthy, and that's just my opinion because I've did it myself. Because when you actually putting that money into your bank account and going spend that money, you understand your monopoly value, your monopoly money becomes an actual value. Because
Correct.
until you actually pull it out, until you go and use it and understand how much money it is, it changed the whole perspective. I don't want to say the names, but we all know the story from Dodge to 3 million. Person didn't pull it out. It's just it's it's it makes a lot of sense to at least pull out some profit to understand what it is and how much money it is, because it's not easy to make money in the world. And yeah, so that's just my 2 cents.
And the thing about that whale story is, if that whale had started pulling profit slowly, he would have left the project with more money than he actually originally walked away with, because you're selling a big bag position. There's a price impact and a tax, right? But if you sell smaller amounts, the price impact's not as large, and you also have time for the chart to recover. So let's just say, you know, uh, you decide you're going to pull profit, and we're at 50 million market cap. So you pull some profit. We drop down to, 47 million market cap, right? So you lost a little bit on price impact, you lost some tax, then the price goes back up to $50 million, and you do it again. So you pull out the same amount, and the price goes back up a little higher than that, and then you pull some profit again. Now, this is pulling profit aggressively, which to each is their own. That's not how I do it, but you can walk away with more money, because another thing you got to think about is, when you're pulling profit, let's say you have $100,000 in a project and you want to pull some profit, but you're going to pull hard profit. So you pull out 50 grand, leaving you, 50% of your bag. So the rest of your bag, when you dump, your bag value is going to drop, right? And then because there's such a big drop on the chart, you might actually cause panic. So then there's going to be additional sell-offs going on the chart. So now the remainder balance that you have in your project, you're shortchanging yourself, because now that value is going down because you initiated panic. Now everybody's starting to sell. Obviously, then you have to wait a little longer for the price to go back up before you're equal again. So there's a philosophy about it. I think it's very smart to pull profit. You pull it responsibly and try to be as respectful as you can. Obviously, if you need money right now for family or for medical or for whatever it is, it's your prerogative. You pull your profit how you want to, but you can cause panic, and people do that. Reflex is a prime example. In the early days of Reflex, there was so much whale manipulation, it was ridiculous. You'd see large dumps come in, and then you'd see a mass panic, and you'd see those same wallets that dump buy back. Now they've accumulated even more. It's called whale manipulation. You cause panic, and then you buy it back even cheaper. And I think every market kind of deals with that. Bitcoin does it, Ethereum does it. A lot of the mainstream blue chips have whale manipulation. It's just what it is, But at a smaller market cap level, it's felt a little more, if you decide to pull profit a little heavier and aggressively. But to each is their own. So
Now, Squid, do you see like projects like we'll touch on Evergrow, like when they had that coin market cap glitch? It seems that coin market cap is the only one that has those glitches. And in my opinion, and I know a lot of others, I had a huge value when we had that run up right in the beginning. And when that glitch happened, it just wrecked the whole project. Not wrecked it, but it wrecked the whole momentum of the project, because this thing, anybody going on there looked at it and it looked like it was a rug, and I think
yeah,
that hurt them.
I know the project well, and that was something that took some time to get them to correct that. Actually, I'm not even sure if CMC ever did correct that. But yeah, it does definitely mess up the analytical perspective of the chart when there's a new investor, they go to CoinMarketCap and they look, a massive pump on the chart that they're showing, and then a massive drop. It can portray it as like a rug. I don't understand how these type of things happen with CMC, but I do think in certain aspects it does do damage to the project that are sometimes unrepairable because you can't really attract new investors because it looks like crap. You look at the chart on CMC and it just looks like it's been a rug. Nobody's gonna buy that. you know. So I do know certain projects have dealt with that hurdle. I know sometimes you're able to work with CoinMarketCap to kind of get that taken care of. But most of the project that is affected by that, it will forever show that all-time high price. So
Now, Shib, did you go over with you mentioned Reflex? Did you sell out of Reflex? Did you bring it over to Vitreous?
no, I've been out of Reflex for a long time. I got into Reflex on launch day, and I can't tell you when I exited, but I did slowly exit the position. But I wasn't around when they did the migration. I know them personally. The Hound, Ray, Miles. Well, I know them as personally as I can. But we all met up at the NFT convention. Right after we launched, SquidGrow launched, and they were around, I think, 8 million market cap at that time, and they were kind of on their downtrend. But no, I didn't take it over when they were doing their migration. I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with what's going on with that whole migration thing. I do know that there was a change of hands of the project and they're going to relaunch in like 2024 or something like that, but I'm not very knowledgeable on that. But
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
I know they gave everybody an option to either migrate their tokens over to Vitreous, which the person running the project that owns Vitreous, he went over with Crip Fu.
Yep.
Him and Crip Fu are business partners in the financial industry. They own a company. I think it's called Collaborative Wealth.
Yeah,
And
I've met Crip Fu.
yeah, and I guess Chad is the CEO of that company, and Crip Fu and him are partners, and they gave up all their financial licenses so they could start collaborative digital for the financial agency. I don't know for the financial industry. I don't really know a lot about what that's about, but I know
Yeah.
that they gave everybody that had Reflex the option of either migrating over to Vitreous at like private sale prices for what they had, but they said that they wouldn't be launching anything for 10 to 12 months. If you decided you weren't going to go over to Vitreous, they would give you a token for token swap for Vault Finance.
Yeah.
But they haven't really done anything. I think it's going to be probably. I think that it
Yeah,
was a pretty smart move.
The seed rounds were sent to me. I didn't get involved in it. Quite frankly, I don't like the idea of my money being tied up for that long. So especially with a lot of unknowns. It's nothing against the team personally. I don't know what's going on well enough to speak on that, but I can't remember the market cap I exited out of, but the way that I exited, it was kind of I received an email from Reflex, and it was like a warning that whale one, the whale above me, was going to dump their tokens, and it was from the official Reflex email account. So I tried to get a hold of the team that night with no luck. I got a hold of some of my other whales. Some of the other whales got the same emails, so we were anticipating a large dump. Whale one, if you're familiar, he's the one that aped about 400,000 and some change right after launch. Bought the whale, the number one position because I was wallet one, and then he overtook me, and then that skyrocketed the price, and then it immediately came back down. But he had a substantial bag with substantial price impact. Anyway, long story short, I tried to contact the team. I dropped a message in the whale room. yo, what's up with this email? Blah, blah, blah. Nobody responded to me. So I did exit my position. And as soon as I started exiting, the wallets around me started buying. And turned out it was, they were never able to pinpoint it. They tried to say it was a copycat email. Somebody that replicated their email, but it wasn't you know how people play with like the numbers and the letters, like they'll use like an L in place of an I or vice versa. They tried to say that, it was one of those situations. I did respond, and somebody from the team actually responded back to me. We were never able to figure it out, but this email went out. It did spook a couple of whales, so a couple of whales did exit, and then the price dropped. Excuse me. And then price pumped back up, but I was already out fully at that time, so I never jumped back in. Sorry about the sneeze. But I think it was around 30 mil-ish, maybe, when I exited. But maybe a little higher. But the thing I did not like is at the end of the day, somebody did get my personal email account from them, and it did come directly from them because I made this email solely for the purpose to interact with this project. And when they were doing, I believe, their pre-sale, I inquired about getting in on the pre-sale. Told them, hey, I've got this X amount of money, can I get in? And somehow or another, my email was not compromised, but my email address was breached out. Somebody got a hold of it. So because, that was never explained to me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Because that was never properly explained to me, I never rejoined in that, but I still stayed close to the team. So.
Little miscommunication can screw a whole project up.
Yeah, agreed. I believe when I went up to the convention with Bad Anthony, we met up with them, went out to dinner. I let the Hound take my Ferrari out, and we made a night of it. Nothing against the team. Miles is, I like Miles and I like Ray as a person and the Hound. I've got nothing against them at all. So it was nothing like that. But receiving a personal email from their official domain kind of spooked me, especially with the contents of the email. And then nobody was able to explain it to me. And in my, the time following, because when I got the email, they said at X amount of time, this dump is going to happen. So for that duration of the 6 hours, when I was trying to contact the team, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I ultimately just started fucking exiting my position, and everybody started accumulating behind me, and it was never explained to me. So who knows? One thing I do know is somebody got a hold of that personal email address that I generated for that project, and I didn't like that at all. So.
No, I can understand that.
But, yeah. Well, what's up with the crickets, guys? What's going on?
With crickets?
Yeah, I'm hearing crickets.
Hey, hi. I actually have a question. Can you guys hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so you don't have to answer this if you can't because it's not related like to SquidGrow particularly, but
Okay.
like with the whole issue with folks in US and Binance US not allowing you to move like US dollars on and
Yep.
off of their exchange.
Yep.
What are most people using? Are they using like Coinbase, or is there a particular
So,
one that's good to use for US folks?
well, currently, I know some of my friends are using Coinbase. There is, there is a bunch of different avenues. Are you referring to like trying to off ramp money?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like in
So
the case like in the future, if
yeah.
that was
So Coinbase is still being used by a lot of people. I used Binance for a long time, and I'm actually KYC'd on both Binance.us and the regular Binance. So, if you don't have an overseas bank account that you can actually off ramp money into, and you're only off ramping into the US, Coinbase is an option. But there are a lot of different options that you can kind of do. I can't really get into those with you, being the position that I'm in with the project. I don't want it to be misconstrued as like me trying to advise anybody to, get out of paying taxes. But there are many options that you can utilize. I will say, if you're in the USA, Coinbase is still a viable option though.
Crypto.com's good too, by the way. I mean, look, I'm not trying to tell you either to avoid taxes, right? But you could easily transfer BNB to Crypto.com, get their Visa card, right, their debit card, and sell BNB that way.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to do other things, there's things like Revolut, where you could sell on Binance and transfer your funds to Revolut. It's just a debit card, and basically you could spend money there. And then the last one I'd say is Ultimo. Is another one where they actually have you open an offshore bank account. Again, I'm not a financial advisor.
I really like the Ultimo solution. So I think it's
100%.
very cool. It is an official bank account out of country. They do give you a debit card, and you can spend it. It's got a $20,000 limit a day. Very, very viable option. Very professional team. So yeah, I mean that's a solid option as well.
So I think the overall point is there's options, right? So it's not like it's all shut down in the United States.
Yeah. Crypto.com is about to be shut down, though, with that said. It's spinning its U.S. exchange on the 21st in 2 days, unfortunately.
I heard that too.
Yeah, for a long time, I like to use Paxful.com. Paxful.com just recently shut down. That was not per se an off ramp, but it was a peer-to-peer. So you could essentially, with Bitcoin and stable coins and Ethereum, you could initiate an escrow. Well, for example, let's say Dane had, $1,000 in Bitcoin that he wanted to sell. And, I'm a buyer of that. So I advertise on that exchange, and I would only ever recommend using somebody that's been KYC'd and vetted and has good reviews. But he would answer essentially my ad that I'm buying Bitcoin at this rate. And then we initiate a trade. His Bitcoin then go into an escrow service, and then I would pay him via the option that he chose that I offer, either PayPal or Zelle or Venmo, or there's lots of options. And then once the money is transferred, I mark on my end that the money's been transferred, and then he confirms it on his end that he received it, and then the crypto would come out of escrow into my account. There is a safeguard in place because, in the event that, let's say I paid Dane and he decided he wants to try to keep his Bitcoin and keep the money, all I would have to do is provide the proof that I paid. And because the Bitcoins are in escrow service, he doesn't have access to that. So that would free up and come back and would come to me anyway. But Paxful.com did shut down. There is a sister company that they are now using that's out of country. I'm not familiar with it. I've not used it, but I do know a lot of people that were using Paxful did migrate to that platform. But there are options. There's a lot of options. Unfortunately, the U.S. is just making it so dang difficult on crypto right now. You got to kind of just utilize what's available to you at the time. But Ultimo is a great option. I've not personally used it, but I have friends that do use it. So that is a viable.
Yeah, I could vouch for it. I set up an account. It took about a week to get approved.
Yeah.
Took another week to get the debit card. And then you just transfer funds into your wallet. And like Sheep said, it's up to 20 grand a day. And then you just spend off your Ultimo card. Pretty good.
Yeah, and you can pull money out of the ATM as well. So it's pretty cool.
Well, thank you to everyone for sharing your knowledge. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. It's kind of just ever evolving, one door opens, or excuse me, one door closes, and another door opens. Somebody's always going to, in my opinion, try to stay a step ahead. it is unfortunate, but I think this will blow over. Um, to some extent, but for the time being, it is getting hard. But I can say I do know people are still using Coinbase to wire transfer into their accounts. Just be mindful that Coinbase does provide you with a tax bill at the end of the year. So, all right, cool. All
And
right, Dan, I
Dane,
see
Dane,
I
I don't
see
know
you're
if you're the
back
one
on
that
here.
mentioned it. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say I see Dane's back on here. He hopped off for a little bit. Thanks, Dane.
No, I didn't hop off. I was listening to you guys, man. I like
Uh,
to sit back and be a listener every now and then. By the way, while I was listening, I just created if people want to go join. I'm not really sure uh, all the ins and outs of it just yet, but it looks like Twitter just opened up something called Twitter Communities. I just made one for SquidGrow on our main, the first one that joined it. If you go to Twitter and click on Communities in the sidebar, search SquidGrow from there, you'll see us. Feel free to join us. I think what it does is it basically organizes all of our tweets with certain hashtags that we specialize in. Obviously, SquidGrow, SG Army, LF Grow, all those will be on there. Just trying to figure out how it works though, so brand new. But yeah, if you guys are into that stuff, come check us out on the Twitter communities. If it's something that happens to grow, we're going to be one of the first ones to try to get it to get up there.
Already joined.
Awesome.
I mean, do you see the government eventually just shutting down every viable option as they start putting a stranglehold on everything? I mean, do you think that's their end game?
Oh man, it's hard to say with these predictions. I mean, it would just be personal opinion. In regards to this, I try to keep my opinion to myself, but I do think that the government, at least in the U.S., is trying to position herself in some manner, or it could just be an event where they're just trying to panic the market and then start buying at a low price. It's happened many times before. So, I mean, it's really hard to say. It is pretty crazy with how they're coming at things right now, currently.
I mean, it's
So, I
scary
mean,
when you're looking at the BNB price. I mean, we all know it's going to come back. So I mean, it's
no.
but it sucks seeing the price down where it is right now.
Agreed. I mean, it kind of just goes through these motions every year. The prices go down, there's a black swan, or there's panic in the market. Um, so it's hard to say, but I don't think Binance is going anywhere. So I really think that BNB hasn't even started to get legs underneath it yet. So I think at some point BNB could turn into kind of you could see the prices that Ethereum are currently at with BNB, if not higher. I definitely think there's a lot of growing room on it, and because it's backed by Binance and CZ, I think he'd fight tooth and nail, you know, to combat
And, and
anything that was thrown at him.
and honestly, like if Binance went down, we all go down. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I don't know what would happen if Binance was to be gone. You know what I mean? It would be ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
biggest liquidity provider, that's for
you
sure.
never know these type of things. You know what I mean? I mean, you can never predict these things, but I don't know their motivations behind it. But there's definitely pretty negative sentiment right now that's being crypto being targeted. But I think it will eventually blow over. I could be completely wrong, but it's just kind of one of those things. You just gotta kind of adapt and evolve. And roll with the punches.
We're all here for the long run.
Yep.
Shib, I had an idea. I'm not sure how relevant this is. I'm gonna speak up my mind. Um, do you? I know it's kind of silly, but is there any way that maybe community can do some whatever? I'm not sure. Somebody's doing their own stuff. Let's say if somebody is producing something in on their side, do you accept some sort of a like I don't know, thank you thing? Like maybe what I'm trying to say is for like for example, you have a 1 year anniversary for SquidGrow. Is there a way that community can kind of say thank you in a way that you can actually feel it as a product?
No, unfortunately, there isn't a way for me to utilize that. I wouldn't be willing to dox my address
Yeah,
or my
yeah.
location.
So okay,
You
what
know,
about okay?
but anything digitally or pictures, I've received like a lot of, a lot of the community members have made things, and they just, although understand that I can't actually take possession of it,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
take pictures and they send it to me.
yeah.
I actually save those pictures. I've got a little album on my phone. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Because we manufacture products for like automotive, so
mm,
I was thinking where if we can do some custom stuff for the team, not even you. Is
yeah.
there something? Is there something that could be done in the future?
I mean, if we found a way that we could
Yeah,
actually facilitate a transfer or something like that, it
yeah,
would be
yeah,
possible. But as of right now, we don't have anything in place for that
yeah.
type of thing.
That would be at least something that we can do to say to say thank you for all the work that you've done. And that's the least we can do, I guess. And I guess some other people can do some other stuff, but that was just an idea. I was pretty sure that that's not possible.
Yeah.
That was like 99.9%, but hell, let's take a chance. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, at this point in time, in this stage, not really. If we were able to facilitate something like that, only at that point would we be able to, and it'd have to obviously go to somebody else and then be redirected to the team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the idea I was thinking, but that's somewhere in the future. That's no rush. But yeah, it's just I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I always, I always love getting, things that have been made and sent to me directly, and kind words, those type of things. They do a lot, for our mentalities. Obviously, you know, uh, there is an awful lot of work that goes into this. So, I mean, I like the appreciation. Obviously, our community is very supportive
Me.
and have
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
know that.
kind words, for us. So definitely cool. All right, guys. Well, with that said, I think I'm gonna hop off for the night. Spend some time with the family. But with that said, if there's any other quick questions that need to be directed to me, I'm happy to answer them. All right, fair enough. Dane, I'm gonna pass this off to you, and I'll be around in the chat a little later tonight. I'm not gone for the night. Just gonna spend some family time before everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah, no worries, bro. You've been on voice chat now with me for like the last 6 hours, so well deserved.
Hey guys, well, I mean, it's been a year for us, and thanks for everybody for being a part of this journey with us. We are slowly but surely clawing our way to the top, and making progress every day. So thank you for being a part of this with us. It's greatly appreciated. Um, and thank you for the ongoing support.
Congrats, Shiv.
So, guys, I just figured out how the community works while Shib's about to leave, just while you're here, Shib. It's pretty cool. So, basically, we've got our own thing now. It's called SquidGrow, if you haven't found it yet. I'm promoting our mod team to mods on it to be able to police it if there's anything bad or fudge
Okay,
that's on there.
hang on. How do I jump in there real quick?
Go to your personal Twitter on your desktop or your mobile. Search the
Mhm.
communities tab on the left side where it's got all the things, and then from there just search SquidGrow. and click join.
Hang on. Where? Hang on a second.
I'm not sure if you can see it on mobile yet because it just came out
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
but
yeah. I went from the mobile. So right underneath it has two emojis with the two people, and it's a community. And then on the search bar, you just type SquidGrow, and then you'll be able to find it. At least it's on the phone like that.
Okay, hang on. Let me see.
So while you do that, let me kind of explain how it works. I'll make you a mod, Shib, as I have our other mods that have joined already.
Hang on.
Um,
It booted me on.
Oh, are you on booted off Twitter or the chat?
Yeah, my phone's being finicky when I try to jump off Twitter. When I try to jump off of Telegram onto Twitter, it's booting me off the VC. I'll get the directions from you in message, and
Yeah,
I'll get it sorted out so I can get in.
I'm still playing with it and the settings and the descriptions and stuff like that. But basically, the way it works is anytime you make a normal tweet from your main Twitter, you're going to have the option to do a normal tweet or to post in the community that you've joined. So if you're in like 5 communities, you'll have a drop down menu of all those communities. You can post directly in there. It's kind of like a forum of tweets. But keep in mind when you post into the community, it does not post into the public feed. It just posts into that community from what I'm seeing. So it's pretty cool though. I've already seen about 4 people in there throw up a message. So shout out to you early adopters. But we'll try to make that a cool spot, and maybe it catches fire, maybe it doesn't. We'll see what Elon does with it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'll be in there a little later, and I'll be around. Thank you for your ongoing support. Thank you for your time jumping on here with us. And like as always, DMs are always open. If you've got any questions, just ping me in the main chat, and I'll get to you as soon as I can.
Thanks, shit.
Take care, guys.
Later.
And just to clarify, I made a narrative corrected me that crypto.com is still going to be available for smaller traders, just not institutional traders. So sorry about that, JB. You are actually right. It's still a decent option. I don't know though. They're definitely back against the wall there with the regulatory
Yeah,
stuff.
for how long, right? We'll see for how long.
Exactly.
But Dane, you feel that Ultimo pays pretty good? You use it?
I actually have my card in the mail right now. RW uses it. It's not about paying it really, but it's Ultimo. We're kind of giving it a big plug here, but it's not a token, so it's okay. It's a utility basically that lets you get a card out of JB Bank in the country of Laos, and it's kind of interesting because the country of Laos is historically very isolationist, and they're actually, it's a pretty successful country as well. So with that said, what Ultimo is doing is essentially acting, from as far as I understand it, at least they're acting like a middleman to where they have someone on the ground in Laos. That person is taking the funds that come into Ultimo each day from people that are sending crypto like USDT to it, and then they're swapping it themselves, and then they're depositing that into that Laos bank. So basically, when you sign up with Ultimo, what they're doing is they're giving you a legitimate bank card, but the bank card is out of the country of Laos, and you're able to send crypto to Ultimo, which then converts into cash on that bank card. So it's kind of found a loophole because Laos is not going to report your activity to the international banks as of now, according to the different treaties and stuff they are withheld from. So it's certainly interesting. You do have to KYC to it, so a bit of a risk there because you're putting your personal information like your driver's license, passport, etc., out to a third party. So just be aware of that. I have no idea the future of this, but I do know from some friends that it's been around for about a year and a half. It's pretty cool, and there are a couple things like this. You're kind of circumventing the tax system. So I don't personally recommend this to anyone without having a disclaimer that you do so at your own risk. And if you choose to do anything like this, you potentially bear the full weight and consequence of that should something go wrong. But if it's a risk you're willing to take, it looks like they just charge a 2.5% tax to send your crypto in and have it swapped over. You get your own debit Visa card in the mail, and you're off to the races, spending it wherever you want. But obviously, if you do something stupid with that, like pull out like $10,000 or something, you're probably going to get IRS checked. So got to be really careful with things like that, not to deposit
Yeah,
sensitive.
Dane, there's a $600 fee too to actually open the account.
Yes,
So you have to
correct.
send them right, and 150 comes back into your account.
Yep.
So they open your bank account at JDB Bank. Basically, you get 150 bucks, and then you can you guys still hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, man.
Okay, and then basically you apply and you get your debit card. They send that out, and then it takes a few days to confirm it, and then you're off to the races. So you would transfer crypto into the Ultimo wallet, and like Dane said, they'll take care of transacting that and converting it over on their side. And then the cash goes into your debit card, and you could use your debit card at will, and take out up to 20 grand. But again, as Dane said, don't do it. Don't take out that much at one time, or you're going to put yourself
Do
in
not, bro.
deep
Do
of trouble.
not. Yeah, use it for like groceries and gas and things like that. But just I wouldn't recommend using it for major things like mortgages or fat car payments or down payments on rings or anything like that. So
I mean,
that's just my sense.
either way, I mean, they say 20 grand a day, but I mean, no, you're only taking it out in an ATM, and an ATM is only letting you take what, 400 or 500 bucks out a day. I don't know how much the limit is, but
Well, it depends on on where you're at. You can go to Bitcoin ATMs, which are basically just people most of the time, and they'll let you do crazy amounts depending on the
will they?
person. So that yeah, there are ways around it. There's loopholes everywhere. I have a friend personally that told me about his crypto stuff back in 2016, shortly after I got in, and blew my mind at the time, telling me that he was living fully off crypto. He lived in South Georgia in the U.S., so it's not like an easy place to do that. But this guy was, driving a Lambo, living in the mountains, completely isolationist with his family. He's like a prepper, and he's been living off crypto since then. And I think this is, dating as far back as then, this was already something that people were doing. It's just being streamlined because people are finding better services, and Web3's evolved. And so the Ultimo is an example of that, and it's not the only one, but it is interesting because the country of Laos is not reporting the international banking stuff to things that would be checked by like the U.S. and Australia, for example. So for now, it's a pretty cool option to at least get some money off ramped out of crypto. I wouldn't use it as an on ramp though. I'd just use it as an off ramp to spend money.
now you said the Bitcoin ATMs. You can get money out of the Bitcoin ATMs. I've never used them.
Yeah, so Bitcoin ATMs can actually be a physical ATM, right? They can be sitting in a mall or a kiosk or whatever, and you basically just enter in your wallet address and withdraw money out. And those can go all the way up to pretty crazy amounts. I've seen 5-10K on some of those, but they come with high taxes. So the disadvantage to Bitcoin ATMs is that you're going to pay an exchange rate, because typically there's someone that's acting as a middleman between them. So that person is confirming the transaction when he receives it via the ATM as an automation thing. And then from there, he's accepting the transaction and the money's dispensing out of the ATM. But most of the time, back when I got into crypto, even before Coinbase was a thing, before Binance was a thing, the best way to get into it was to go through the Bitcoin ATM option. And when you go and look at what Bitcoin ATM was, the first time I actually found out, I was shocked because I walked into a gold store, like a pawn store. And when I walked into the pawn shop, basically I was like, hey, I'm here for the Bitcoin ATM. And then the guy was like, oh, what can I do for you? I'm him. I was like, what? So basically, the Bitcoin ATM was just a fancy way of saying this guy is providing a service to where you're gonna give him cash, and he's gonna send you some of his personal Bitcoin stash at an exchange rate of like X amount. And a lot of times, those exchange rates are basically in between like 8 to 13% or higher. So it's not the best option, but if you do need to move like large sums of money out, for instance, a Bitcoin ATM, if you go to like someone that's just doing it themselves, may actually be a way to do it off the books, so to speak. But if you go through like a kiosk ATM, that might actually ask you for your driver's license or whatnot, depending on where you are.
And to the note of the limit, by the way, the ATM limit of 400 or whatever. Yeah, if you go to a gas station or something, maybe it's $200 or something. But I know crypto.com, if you go into any major bank's ATM, it's $800. And I believe Ultimo is $1,000 a day. So you shouldn't be pulling out any more than that anyway, or it's going to raise red flags.
Yep,
But
exactly.
800 or 1,000 is a lot bigger.
Yeah, and you can just do that, every other day or something at different ATMs if you want to. I mean, it's up to you, but it's definitely an option to get money out, and it's nice to have that because, these are the types of things that in the worst case scenario, and to answer someone's question about earlier, thinking if the U.S. somehow cut off all off ramps, which would be insane. I don't think it'll happen. You still got options, right? So that's one of them. And right now, it seems to be the popular one. I know the owner of it is an MKK member and a friend of friend. So I think it's a relatively safe thing, but that's not financial advice. We're just talking openly here, and it's one of the cool things about crypto is that it's a decentralized thing that allows you to do things like that should you desire to.
There are many ways to cash it out, especially Turkey and Dubai. It's people pulling out crazy money out there.
Right. I think that the U.S. government will have to come to terms with that at some point. I think there's some people in their government that thinks they can just regulate it to death, but the reality is, the more they regulate it, the more money leaves their borders and gets off the record. So it's like, that it's almost like hugging a puppy, right? It's like you give it too much affection, you'll kill it. Well, they think their form of affection is regulation, and if you regulate, like in California or something, they're going to kill it, and it's just going to leave, right, and find a new home, and people will find a way, right? I mean, China, Nigeria, India are now some of the most hot, badass markets in crypto, but they were once banned. But meanwhile, while they were banned, people were stacking satoshis, and they were still trading and business as usual out of those countries. It's just that people that were doing it were having to find loopholes with VPNs and workarounds and off ramps, but it didn't stop them. And that's the beauty of crypto, in my opinion, is that it's a decentralized alternative to the global financial system, which is obviously getting trashed right now. So I love this stuff. This is the reason I got into crypto in 2016 was because I hated banks. I hated them policing everything I did, monitoring all that. And I had, the Black Mirror, the Chinese social credit system in my mind, and I was like, dude, we got to find an alternative. And then when I heard crypto, it just made sense. So I love stuff like this, and I think stuff like this will always exist. And there's no way with any form of regulation that they'll be able to kill it fully.
Yeah, people always find the loopholes in the system. I know, in fact, in Dubai, there's so many companies that can actually help you to liquidate a position and give you cash, and they're pretty much telling you to set up some sort of a company, then you will provide some sort of a service to them, and then they'll pay you in cash. But of course, there's going to be a fee. But then you're gonna have documents that you some sort of provide a service to them, and you've been paid. So technically speaking, you're clear, and it's like there's no question asked. So
Well,
there is
Dubai is
so many
different.
ways.
The reason that's being is because there's 0% tax if you either own a residence or you could prove you own a business. So the reason they
Yeah,
do it as a consulting service is once you own a business in Dubai, then you're
yeah,
paying 0% tax on the crypto.
yeah,
So that's not the case in the United States. But to Dane's point, the United States is all about control. It always has been. So they're going to go very extreme until they get people to bow down and follow a few of their rules. And I think they'll start loosening things up. But yeah, I always think about if I really hit it big, I will be moving to Dubai and buying a property at least for 6 months. Because I think you have to live there for 6 months initially and then 3 months out of the year.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, in Canada we pay 52% tax. This is crazy. Oh, 49 depends, but that's
That's
crazy.
why I left Slav. I left Toronto in 2011, moved down to Texas, but it's not much better here in the States now. So yeah, I'm looking like JB. I'm looking at places like Portugal, Puerto Rico, this islands, things like that as alternatives if
Well,
like
I'm
you said.
I'm planning to move to States only for business purposes, but then yeah, I don't know. I have an issue with the gun control there and healthcare. That's kind of red flags for me. But again, that's just the future plans. But if we're all gonna be on the same boat, we're probably gonna move to Dubai and Turkey.
Yeah. No, these are all good places, man. Those countries, the governments, they understand what's happening, and rather than regulating it to death, the way JB mentioned, they're getting their hand in it in a more strategic manner while basically inviting business there that's in this industry, and that's a much smarter way to do it. China did what the U.S. did. When they said they were banning it in 2018, they continued to buy it up through the dip and through the crash, and you get a stronger position on it. And I think the U.S. was trying to play that card here, but the problem is people are smarter now. We have communities like this where we share information and learn what they're really trying to do, for example, and we're able to kind of hold the floor better, and their FUD is a lot less impactful now, as we just saw with the Binance saga thing as it started to unfold. So with that said, I don't think their methodology for trying to kill it with regulation is going to be successful. And at some point, they're going to have to put legislation through that actually makes sense where people want to bring money out to the banks again. Otherwise, they'll just continue to lose control. And, until it's too late and they miss out on a lot of potential business and people leave their borders, then that's just, it's their mistake. So hopefully they learn sooner rather than later. I know there's some smart people in the government, contrary to popular belief, they're just outnumbered by the dumb people right now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Maybe they're not even dumb. Maybe they're just greedy. Maybe they just don't want to get rid of the $1 trillion piggy bank printer. It's different in the U.S. because when you look at the dollar being the world standard, which is in serious risk, obviously for multiple reasons, this is the breeding ground of that, right? So they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep that control system until it's no longer a thing. What you're seeing now is kind of like that crypto versus fiat, control war, right? They realize the dollar is in peril. They want to keep it as a world standard, but fighting crypto is probably not the best way. They'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, in the meantime, if you guys are interested, that site is called ultimo.io. Check it out. Definitely interesting. So yeah, guys, we got our Twitter community up. It's pretty cool. I like this, actually. I decorated a little bit more here in a bit. Now, when you tweet, you have the option of just posting in there instead.
Are you going to pin that in the community, or wait, or on the TG, or wait till you get a little handle on it?
I'll go ahead and do it now. I don't think there's anything that can go wrong in it, really. I mean, if you tweet something bad, we can delete it or report it, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple.
I don't think it'll ever become like a Telegram or a Discord, but who knows? It's good to be first movers with this stuff. How's everybody else doing out there? Any questions, comments, concerns about how the birthday went?
Hey, what's up, Dane? It's Luminous. How you doing, man?
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just wanted to say thank you again via voice, man, for everything you guys, Shib, you, R-Dub, everybody's doing, man. It's I think it's all going great. I know you guys are, containing a bunch of stress, I imagine, at times and all that. Really appreciate it. I think that goes unsung a lot of times. So yeah, man, just thanks for all your efforts, and I'm looking forward to the year after and the year after that.
Thanks for saying it, man. We are as well. Crypto can add stress if you let it, but I don't think any of us let it. I think even with the crazy output Satoshi has, that he doesn't really look at it as a stressor. He just has like a unrelenting passion and obsession for what it is and what he's in the process of creating, and so he enjoys that. Right, it gives him a purpose and a reason to wake up and constantly be doing things. It's as a man and a producer and someone trying to leave a legacy, that's what you want. You want to have that opportunity. Personally, I'm the same way. I would much rather have an outlet to feel like I'm making a real impact on something than to just feel like what am I doing with my life. So for me, it's a privilege and an honor to help. I don't look at it as a stress. It can be stressful, obviously, if you stare at the charts. And I've been micromanaged a few times by Satoshi himself, which I take very seriously. So, those times it can be that way. But for the most part, I think we enjoy every day here hanging out with you guys, and don't look at it as work, but kind of look at it as more like a dream job. And I think Satoshi specifically, he really enjoys it, and that's why he's putting in those hours. If he didn't enjoy it, at least to some degree, I don't think there's any way he'd be doing what he's doing right now. I think he truly does, and that's why he is the way he is.
I absolutely agree, man. To your point, I didn't want to make it seem like you guys are like, pushing yourselves through this. Definitely when you love something, it's not really work. You don't see it as like a laborious thing. So just much love and appreciation to you guys.
Cheers, man. Yeah, so shout out to the biggest buy. Slang set that up real nice for us, and we've already had to kick out one or two people that tried to be cute and sell one token of their own bag and buy again on the other chain. So those have been DQ'd, but as long as you're playing fair, it's a 24-hour contest. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that'll end. So we'll see what kind of buys we get between now and then. And you do have to hold for 24 hours. So if you are in one of those spots, make sure you keep that in mind. You get 1K in SquidGrow tokens, 6 prizes. And after that, we've got that last buy competition, which Slayem also set up so awesomely for us. We're going to try to run that most likely on both chains at the same time. So that'll be pretty cool. I like these little competitions like that. Add some nice engagement to the community. And then, of course, we've already started the selection process for the World Tour contest, but that will take a little while, so bear with us.
Okay, Dane, I'm gonna pop off. Good talking to you. We'll talk to you later. I'm probably gonna go listen to the Twitter MMA. I always confuse MMA, whatever. You got it. So
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, man.
no
Been a pleasure.
problem. No problem. We'll speak later. Okay, guys. Take
No.
care, everybody.
See you, Slava.
Bye.
Squid tat. That is cool. Shout out to Squid Tat. I just saw the tattoo, man. If you want to give us a little backstory on that, man, open mic. Anybody else, feel free to speak up. I don't like awkward silences. If I hear too much silent here, I'll probably close it down fairly shortly.
Hey, Dane.
Oh.
Hello.
Doing, man?
Hey, I'm trying to get onto this community on Twitter on my mobile. How do I do it?
Here, let me post the link. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pin it in our chat, so just stand by. You'll see that. Should be able to join it. But if you're doing mobile, if you want to do it ahead of time, you just search on the left side where it has the drop-down menu of like profile and all those things. You should see communities as an option. And from there, just search SquidGrow, and you should be able to join it. If you're not able to find it, just stand by. I'll have it pinned shortly.
Yeah, no worries. I can't find it, so I'll just wait till you pin it and I'll jump on.
Cool, man. Yeah,
Thanks.
it's pretty neat little feature. I like new stuff, right? So try it out, see what happens.
I may have jumped, gents, but happy birthday again to SquidGrow, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Thanks, JB. Happy birthday, SquidGrow. Yes, happy Father's Day too, man. It's a special day right there. If you're lucky enough to still have a dad, make sure you give him some love.
Amen to that. Cheers, gentlemen and ladies.
All right. Anybody else want to speak up before we close it down shortly? I've been going now, I think, for about, I don't know, let's see, 5 hours, 6 hours. So yeah, might be about that time. Got lots of voice chat for people to listen to. And some more stuff coming this week too. Oh yeah. Shib has left a little bit of surprises. We didn't want to just spend all of our moves on the one day. Going into a nice fresh Monday now, start of a new week. Bitcoin seems to be doing a little better. So, we got some more surprises for you guys.
Hey Dane, how's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm alright, I'm good. I'm tired.
got up for the AMA last night.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
How are you still awake? Are you not? What time zone?
I'm on that Shibtoshi schedule where we stay up till like 5 to 6 in the morning usually. So it's right now for me it's 1:15, which is still early.
Wow.
I had a cup of coffee about 2 hours ago, so I feel like it's 1 in the afternoon to be honest with you.
Yeah, I woke up, set the alarm, got up, and went back, and now I'm getting ready for work. So I just thought I'd drop in and say hi because I saw it was still on. I thought I'll just stop by and say hi to everyone.
Yeah, thanks for doing so, man. For those that don't know, Mr. Gal is it Mr. Gallier or Mr. Gallier? So I don't do that.
Yeah, Gallia.
Gallier. Sorry, man.
Gallia. Yeah.
That's the French Canadian in me. I lived up there long enough.
So I know no one ever knows how to pronounce it anyway.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Mr. Gallier rather, is the creator of Squiddy, the meme you've seen circulating around. Also a very talented dude himself and kind of a jack of all trades. We got to talk the other day on Twitter Spaces. But yeah, we actually just got that VIP bot themed as well. Did you see that? It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I've actually just been sending some images over. I've got a few more to do today, but it's really good. Works really well.
It does. It's pretty neat. Basically, it sends to the bot. You got a question, you can tag the bot now in the Telegram, and it gives it to that bot will either handle it on its own or it'll go to one of our mods like Slam or Dave, and they'll respond to you and hit it right back. So it's pretty neat, and it kind of just streamlines the whole help desk here at SquidGrow. So kudos to Slam for coding that up because I know it's not easy, and these are bots that I have personally never seen before in any Telegram. So when it comes to Telegram, it's safe to say that I think SquidGrow is above and beyond what other communities are doing. You don't even have to go through a join portal anymore, and nobody's able to break our defenses. So it's pretty awesome. I've seen communities get wrecked by Telegram problems, and that's definitely not on the agenda for us, thanks to Slam.
Yeah, definitely. I did notice there's like that fake SquidGrow account popping up yesterday. I had that come through. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's happened a couple times over the past year. It's a
Yeah.
good sign because when there's people out there pretending to be you, you're doing something right because obviously they know that there's people that they're trying to take advantage of. So if nobody,
Yeah.
then that's not really a great sign. But yeah, we got to be careful. There's that happens all the time. Fake airdrops, dusting, fake admins. We make a big deal about it to publicize that so that new people aren't taken advantage of because there's always that danger out there in the world of DeFi. There's so many ways people can get you, so you just got to be real careful. And again, our mods and admins, of course, will never DM you first. It's in most of our names, reminding you of that. If you ever need us, just DM us first. You can also verify us in the chat by doing a // verify. So yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, listen, I won't take up any more time. I just wanted to say hi before work. So take it easy, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks for stopping by, man. Yes, sir.
Cheers, dude.
So a little funny story for you guys. So Mr. Gallier and ourselves, we haven't actually announced this, but we were working on a Twitter bot of sorts for Squiddy as well. But I think a lot of us here saw yesterday what happened with Bob and Elon. Elon just went on like a killing spree to the AI bot and called it a crypto scam. So we're gonna pause those plans and shelf that for a bit to see Elon, and maybe just was just having a bad day. I don't know, but he did attack the AI bot, so most likely be holding off on that. But that is there should we ever want it, and should he ever become more friendly to those. But in the meantime, I think we let the smoke clear there before pursuing that. Well, all right, guys, I'm pretty much out of things to talk about. I don't want to sit here and bullshit you. Anybody else want to step up and say anything before I shut her down here in a minute? Going once and twice and done. All right, y'all. It's been fun today. Happy birthday to SquidGrow. Happy birthday to everybody in the community who's been here since the beginning. We got big plans ahead. This is only the beginning of the next chapter for us. So stay tuned. We got some pretty exciting things coming this week and also this month. And again, going into the summer, I think it's going to be a fun summer building for us as we start to get these utilities close. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time, let's fucking grow. Let's get it from everybody in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Let's fucking grow.
Let's fucking grow.
Let's fucking grow.
Thank you from Indonesia.
Fucking go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
I love you.